welcome to Corruption Game. As you can tell, I am not Kevin.
What?
Whoa! No way.
He has been crazy busy with grad school and late nights and everything, so I figured I'd take over for a while. Unsure when. It was very loud, Saege.
Shit, sorry. I guess my mic took up. I am so sorry.
Yeah, so unsure when he'll be back, but for now, I stole his game and you got me. To recap, because I actually watched that shit because I realized, oh shit, I gotta binge watch all their stuff. Last time we played, as you guys were about to enter the mega block that the De-Fragger, who you were hunting a bounty on, you were about to enter the building, something happened. You guys heard the city sirens go off. And this on all of the TV screens in town, this androgynous figure in a gas mask came up. They introduced themselves as the Anarchist, and urged the city to rise up against its lords and ladies in opposition of the city's corruption, to rise up so that we can bring a new dawn and a new civilization. They said they had a surprise for the city to prove that the lords and ladies weren't infallible. And right after he said that and the video cut out, you guys, the first thing you felt was a rush of air, as if it was rushing past you, but it almost like it was sucked out of your lungs rather. And for half a second there was no sound. It was just silence. No cars, no yelling. You couldn't even hear yourself breathing. And then there was pain and light and destruction. The building that you were standing in front of collapsed as a high pillar of light arced into the sky. And two of you, who failed your saves, looked away a second too late. And when you turned around to the others, you realized that the blast had melted the eyes out of their skull. Over the next couple of hours, Soul got new eyes, which she's not happy. She thinks they're ugly. Gurk realized that the fires and the explosions set off in the city of El Diablo had formed into something of a smiley face.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't very serious.
No. Soul contacted met her contact from Ranger headquarters and learned that every face of Radix, every side of the planet of that's a D12, was hit except for Neo-Radamy. You estimated that at least in the building that you guys were standing in front of, there were probably at least several thousand dead, but you hadn't gotten a complete estimate. And deciding amongst yourselves that, no, this guy sucks. We want revenge. We want to take this anarchist out. You followed the only lead you had and went to the Shadow Henshin. They blindfolded you, not realizing that half of you could still see, and took you to their headquarters, which Soul recognized as somehow or another you used some form of teleportation to get there. And Cyberus realized while you guys were talking that none of these people were corrupted, and in fact nothing around you was corrupted, leading at least half of you, two of you, to think that maybe we're not in Del Diablo anymore.
What? Not in Kansas anymore.
The Shadow Henshin told you that they were not behind the atomic burners, and that they were not entirely sure exactly what was going on, but that they know the Council of Night was behind it. They also told you that to join the Shadow Henshin, you would have to complete a test before you can actually join. So we'll say we pick up, you guys are sort of standing in Henshin HQ, or in Shadow Henshin HQ, and the fellow that you had met before introduced himself as Amit. He's the sort of Drider-looking Henshin with the suit. I can't remember what it is. A Ronin warrior.
It was like a samurai armor, but I could describe.
Ronin warriors. Sorry.
Oh, she's frozen.
Friend you so.
There she is.
Before you go in this shit, my internet just crapped out.
You're back.
You're back now.
Oh, okay. So before you go on this quest, what is it that you all bring to the table? What are you good at?
I'm pretty sure I'm still a house cat.
You are,
Yep.
yes.
I'm pretty sure I'm not
might
here.
still be a house cat held by Mage Hand.
No, you're a house cat held by Onyx, I believe.
Yeah,
No,
Onyx now.
you were holding me, and I beat my acrobatics check to escape, and I'm sitting.
That's right.
I'm sitting
still
next.
out of.
I'm sitting next to you, so I'm still staying near you, but you're not holding me. I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, and Tomo was not. The Saege was really good.
Oh yeah, should we start with Tomo?
Yeah,
What? No, don't start with me. Start with me.
put out on complete focus.
Just put me on blast.
I mean, you weren't here for it, so we got to do it somewhere.
True, yeah.
Oh, now I'm sad again.
We were quite literally last session.
Didn't see that coming
Oh, we did for a brief moment, and then never
for a
again.
very brief moment.
So I might ask what you bring to the table, right?
He did, yes.
Onyx flexes non-lethally.
Stealing my joke,
Flexes
Hera.
not
Stealing my
lethal.
joke.
Referencing it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Make a performance check with strength. With strength on it.
I'm even proficient in that. But that was not a good roll. That's a 10.
I mean, we can always use more.
I give the most adorable little kitty cat stare I could ever give.
And for some reason, I'm immediately reminded of the Flurkin from Captain Marvel.
Yes, accurate to what Gurk is here.
Yeah, that is pretty accurate.
That's a thing you have to make now, Scotty. Congratulations. You have to make a tentacle cat.
I mean, this one's not far
Not
off.
that.
You're saying that as if he had never planned that, so
Yeah. And so I'll say I've been a Henshin for a while. So
Indeed. This is a DM thing. I believe Tomo was with you last time you actually met these guys, right?
the
Like when
first
you-
time,
Our
yes.
first encounter with them, yeah.
Yes.
We met them outside the cafe.
He sort of looks around to all of you and does a head count. I believe you're missing 2 members, yes? Or are they just hirelings that you carried around to carry your ship?
One of them is preoccupied at the moment. The other
And the other...
just kind of shrugs.
Gurk just starts bathing himself.
Gotta make it weird, don't you?
Oh my cat.
Onyx takes a step away from Grok.
Big old cat tongue.
I imagine it's somehow longer and not really a cat tongue, but instead like a frog tongue or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
Does anyone check that out?
Nope.
nope,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No one needs to check that out.
Good.
NSFL, not safe for life.
It's Grok's motto.
Apparently.
He's sort of introducing you around to some of the ones. He introduces the dodecapods to you guys.
Oh yeah,
and
I know
while
about
he's
one.
doing that,
I somehow feel that he would place me on the Decapods team. After that abysmal performance check.
I mean, yeah, probably.
perhaps.
No, not
Don't
abysmal. It
think
was
the theme,
average at
though.
best.
Like they did mention last time that there is strength in having a theme, and the dodecapods have one.
It's not a good one.
The small strong rock lady does not really fit that theme. So meanwhile, Tomo, you were getting a massage.
I was, yeah. Not anymore.
14 hours in on your 18-hour massage.
I'm trying to remember how long. I don't know how much time passed while you were getting that massage.
2
Was it
days.
only
Yeah, I think it's in 2 days.
Okay.
She probably went back to her apartment.
Well, because
Yeah.
like I think it was like we had the cafe thing. Tomo left. Then we slept. We had the burning thing. We slept, and then now today.
We joked that Tomo fell asleep on the massage bed, but
Yeah.
everything, like the building and all the people were incinerated, but Tomo was fine.
Tomo completely fine.
You're like, oh darn! I forgot to get out of Henshin form. I'm fine.
How'd this happen?
It was a ranged attack, so a disadvantage because I was prone.
So we'll say that Tomo, you did hear what your friends. You had assumed your friends had gone home, so you went home as well, and you were at home when this thing hit. You hear the siren go off. And a moment later, Seth, who had been sitting there playing video games, the video cuts out and comes back to the image of this same androgynous fellow with the green jacket and gas mask, and gives his speech to the citizens of Del Diablo that he is the anarchist, urging everybody to overthrow society and the corruption of the city. Sorry, the chat is sucking me up. And immediately after that, let's see, you felt the explosion. You didn't hear anything at first, and then after, you feel like the actual building shakes for a second, and like, the house looks a lot better than it used to, but it's still not the newest building, so there's still dust falling and everything. And you just immediately hear commotion and chaos outside. Seth sort of looks to you like, the fuck was that?
I have no idea. Are there earthquakes around here?
Not really.
Oh.
Not 100% sure though. I mean, I've lived here for like 3 weeks, so.
That's a good point. I'm gonna take a look outside. You stay here for a second.
Gladly. He hides behind a couch.
And someone's just gonna like poke her head out through the garage door.
When you look down the street, you have a pretty long line before you see just a cloud of smoke billowing up the street. You know that further down that street is like a computer repair store, a couple condos, a bunch of restaurants. You know that it's not the one that you know. It one of their competitors is down that street, however. And you just see people running up the street towards where you are, just covered in dust. One or two of them are bleeding. After a second, you're looking, and this person's running at you, and for a half second, you're like, that's a weird kind of corruption. And then you see another person behind them and another person behind them, all running towards you that do not have eyes in their eye sockets.
She's just gonna try and grab one.
What's that? There was an explosion. I can't see. Help me. And
Okay.
Human woman, maybe like in her 40s or so, and she's just like grasping at you. She's sort of like pulling on your hair a little bit just because she's so panicked.
Get out. Yeah, okay, that's my hair. All right, let's go inside. Come on.
Oh, okay. As you go back inside, you sort of see Seth poking out from behind the couch. What the hell happened to you, lady?
Apparently an explosion. Ow, get her off my hair, please.
she releases you, and I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I can't see anything. I don't know what happened. I was just walking to get a coffee, and there was this light and pain, and I have no idea what happened.
Okay, well, here's a couch. Sit down for a little bit. Seth, watch her, please.
He's like sort of like slowly edging around the side of the couch and like, okay, I'm watching you, ma'am. He like puts a thumbs up and realizes she can't see it. I've got you. like awkwardly taps her shoulder.
For God's sake, get her some water or something. I'm gonna go try and call Saul or Onyx or someone.
He scrambles off. We'll say that at this point that Tomo calls you, you guys are probably at the clinic or on the way there.
Yeah, probably.
Probably if she called Saul, she'd get no response because Saul's currently getting her eyes replaced.
Well, if we're going to be doing some retroactive stuff, Gurk is currently outside, not getting his, refusing to get the animatronics in his eyes, and he sent out a shit ton of ravens to go scouting. So, getting the call from you, he's going to send some ravens, and the ravens will take you to us.
Oh, okay.
I had 4 swarms of ravens, so
That's a lot of ravens.
That's a lot of ravens.
that's
Yeah,
quite
when
a
you
murder
first
of ravens.
mentioned it, I was picturing Maddie's Flock of Familiar spell, and I'm like, I don't think that's a druid spell. And I'm like, oh no, he probably summoned a swarm of ravens, not 4 swarms of ravens.
4 swarms, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's effectively a swarm of ravens that's the size of a horse.
Mm-hmm.
That is terrifying.
It's quite a murder. Because that's what you call both of them.
So, Solitude does not answer her phone. Who would you call next?
Probably Demona. Henshin solidarity first, then Team Ghost Rider.
Hey. So as long that you called her first, she's sad that she couldn't pick up.
I just
Couldn't
realized
see how to unlock the phone.
I just realized I can't answer texts.
How come?
I don't see why. I don't see why.
Scotty, we made that same joke in our one game. Our one ranger has blind sight, and we sent him a letter to read because we're assholes.
Also, I thought Gurk couldn't read.
Oh,
No, Gurk can now.
It's really useful
Oh, that's right,
now.
you learned it in the Arachnid library.
It's super useful now.
Mm-hmm. Super.
Yep.
So yeah, you bring up Demona. Does Demona answer?
Absolutely.
I just imagine that Gurk also all the time gets like messages from other people, and everyone thinks he's like incredibly rude and a total asshole because he always leaves them on scene, but never answers back.
Or like he sends it back, but it's just like pictograph emojis.
Looks like hieroglyphics.
Gurk is like ridiculously old school grandparent, where like never responds or answers texts. And
You're like, hey, what are you doing? And his answer is Nebraska.
he can barely call
phone
somebody with a phone call, you know?
I'm in Nebraska.
Oh.
Hello, is the video, and it's just a normal call. Is the video on? Am I using the Skype?
No, we're using the Zoom.
Zooming where? No, just like anyway.
Okay, Drax.
So Demona, after you guys have been waiting for about 15 minutes in the clinic, waiting for Sol to get her new eyes installed, your phone rings.
And I pick up. No answer. Just pick up the phone, wait for somebody to start talking.
Picks up. Demona, what the fuck is going on?
Explosions. Ones that I did not cause.
Oh. Okay, that explains the whole horde of eyeless people running past the apartment.
And
What kind of explosion? Is everyone okay?
Oh, hey, is that Tomo? Hey, I said hi. Just like in the background.
I'm just imagining you're like at Demona's knees, like jumping up, trying to get closer to the phone. She's just like, no, stop.
don't make me punt the cat.
She's
It's not a cat.
I'm not a
right
cat.
now, it's
now.
Gurk.
Oh, my bad. Well, don't make me punt a Gurk.
No, you see, that's future Gurk. And luckily, future Gurk isn't coming back to eat past Gurk. It'd be very difficult.
We're dealing with even more timey-wimey bullshit this time.
Yeah, really. So, yeah, I would just explain the
We should do the time
explosions.
warp. We should do the time warp again.
No, let's not. Demona doesn't have the tights for it. So, yeah, that explain everything that we know to Tomo.
We don't know much right now, actually.
Well, that and telling them that you lost your eyes, Gurk lost his eyes. You know, just a quick status update for everything.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll meet you guys wherever you are. Do we have any weapons in this apartment?
I mean, if you own weapons, then sure, there are probably some here.
Yeah, only the ones that would be
not
in...
aside from Onyx.
Oh, I was asking Demona.
She lives in a completely different area, man.
Fair enough.
Do you want to tell you where her explosives are?
Ask someone if they have weapons here, Demona, please.
Halfway tempted to go, no.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, this would be quite dreadful, but you never know what's in the garbage pile in the basement.
That's fair.
Well, my thing is,
you want to give your dignity up for that?
My thing is, you've got your network stuff. You should have weapons.
For me. It's not for me.
Who the hell are you giving weapons to?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure it. Look.
No, you don't tell me that.
Fine. Here, hold on. She walks into the kitchen, grabs like a big butcher knife, and gives it to Seth. Seth, anybody comes through that door, stab him.
What? Why? Who are you on the phone with? The woman,
Demona.
like, on the couch, like, grabs a pillow. What? What are you stabbing people for?
Because
Demona,
there was
you hear this other woman whose voice you've never heard yelling in the background.
Wait, you guys are at a clinic getting your soul's eyes fixed?
Yes.
How much does that cost?
Don't know. Not the one getting the surgery.
All right, fine. Well, I'm bringing someone along.
Heard the announcement that going to the clinic for this for the purpose of getting your eyes repaired and for any damages due to the burners is covered under Del Diablo's public insurance.
Yeah, Susan's paid
Okay.
for it.
Well,
Does
okay.
public insurance involve reincarnations and stuff like that?
I hope so. Seth, like I said, anybody comes through the front door, just stab them and then run and lock yourself in the garage or something, okay?
You're giving Seth weapons?
Look, I don't know what's happening. For all I know, we could have people busting down the door in this place in like 5 minutes, and I got to meet you guys, so what do you want me to do?
I think then that's when one of those swarms of ravens shows up in the front porch.
just on the phone.
Just over the phone. Oh God, there's bomb and there's
Tomo's just like, wow, that's a whole shit ton of ravens. Okay.
They're like trying to get in the house. He's like backed up against the door. They're like pecking at the windows. He's yelling. This poor random woman's yelling.
It's a Hitchcock movie all over again.
Yeah.
just all Demona hears from Tomo's end of the phone. Everyone, shut up!
Everyone, quick, get in the anti-bird chamber in just a phone booth.
And Demona hangs up.
Ruthless.
Not
Fine. Fine, I had to make other phone calls anyway.
Not dealing with this bullshit today.
So Tomo will grab her bike and help the blind woman onto the back of it and take off following Gurk's ravens.
Okay.
And she's got her henshin gear on, so she's like using I assume the helmet has some built-in mic, so she's using that to call the gentleman actually.
Okay.
Or
We'll say
the gentleman's assistant.
Hello, this is the gentleman. Can I help you?
Yeah, it's Tomo. I assume I don't need any more introduction than that.
No, I believe I know you. What can I help you with today? And you do hear in the background there's just a ton of chatter. And like you've called the gentleman's office before, and it's usually relatively quiet. He keeps it pretty well insulated above the club. There's a lot of people yelling.
Yeah, I bet. She's like, I'm sure you're busy, so I'm sorry to take more of your time, but I need to call in a favor.
I can give him a message. Can I ask what this favor is?
I need any information you can find on a woman named Solace.
You mean Solitude? Because
No, Solace.
okay, I can ask him certainly. Would you like him to call you back, or do you want me to put you on hold?
I can stay on hold. I'm driving to a clinic right now.
I would suggest you get a taxi.
No, I'm not blind. I'm fine.
Okay, all right. Hold one moment for the gentleman. She puts you on hold.
Solace? No.
Do,
Saege.
Sorry.
Good
That was
pun in the
great.
chat there. I like that.
You're welcome.
So before the gentleman comes back, remind me, has Tomo actually asked the gentleman about this woman before?
I think she probably asked when she first got there, but more of a, if you hear anything, let me know, but not a big deal kind of thing.
Okay. Several minutes pass, and to the point where you're like debating just hanging up and calling back, and you've got like the little bit of swing music in the background. It's very disorienting driving through the chaos of the city, which you see now. There are dozens of these pillars of flames that just go up 100 stories maybe into the air, and chaos as far as you can see. It's almost actually probably really smart that you took the bike, considering going anywhere on foot or in a car is impossible right now.
I was gonna say, I also really like the visual of all these like pillars of flame with the network cycle light coming out from behind her.
And you got like an escort of ravens with you?
Oh yeah, it looks badass as shit. Also a little terrifying.
Also very important, probably. Like, with a Henshin uniform and everything, you look probably like you're on a mission or something. And
That
everyone's
or a
like,
very
"Oh."
weird Disney princess.
I'm like,
and Tomo being a henchman as long as she is, she's like, man, I gotta get some like holographic ravens or something. This is really good for my image.
oh my god. Your speed bike you just got?
Yeah.
It's this bike, right? Or is this a bicycle? Because regardless, you're a Moomin rider now.
Oh yeah, I guess I am.
This is awesome.
A few moments later, you hear the gentleman's voice. Tomo, I was asked to if I'd heard anything from Solace, the woman that you had asked for before. Yes.
Yes.
I have not heard anything, but I will keep an ear to the ground and make sure that you'll get any information I hear. I have not heard from the rest of your team.
I just got off the phone with Demona. I'm on my way to them right now.
Okay. That's good to know. Question, are any of them currently blind?
Yeah, I think a couple of them are.
Okay. We're probably going to need to see that they get that fixed before we do anything else. Yeah, just keep your phone on. Things are pretty chaotic right now. I may need you guys to help put out some metaphorical fires, not the actual fires. As far as I can tell, those things aren't going out anytime soon.
I'm gonna be in my suit up for probably the foreseeable future, so no worries there. Do you happen to have a ping on Solace's location, or is she just gone to ground completely?
Last my sources told me she is at, and he tells you like the actual street name and everything.
Was that one of the places that got hit by one of these damn things?
No.
Okay.
You can realize quickly enough because it mentions that you have a HUD on your visor in the too. Pulling up the address, you can tell that there's a clinic on that street.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get in touch with the rest of the team, and I'll have my phone on. I'm not sure if anybody else will answer, so.
Very well. Be safe.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So we'll say not long after that, you do arrive at the clinic. And Who's waiting outside the clinic? Presumably, Gurk to meet his sea of ravens.
He's sitting at a bark bench and he's like feeding birds and stuff.
Feeding birds. It's literally it is a sea of birds. It's just like those like seagulls shit that you see. 2,500 seagulls.
Look at all those chickens.
And then it's a good day for Gurk. This is good coping for blindness.
Gurk, are you all right?
Disney princess.
Yeah, I'm all right now.
Okay. You gonna get your eyes?
No, they melted.
I mean, yeah.
There's no eyes for me to get.
Okay, well, I'm gonna. You keep feeding your birds. I'm gonna take this woman inside.
Okay, thanks for the help, Theodore. And then like one of the ravens in your swarm's like, "Ka!" The swarm flies off.
as Tomo
This one's like marching behind you with her hands on your shoulders. She's like, "What's that? What?"
That's Gurk. He's a friend.
Okay.
For the budget.
As Tom was walking by, she's like, "By the way, Gurk, we gotta talk about doing this permanently because that looked really cool riding up here. I gotta tell you."
Even though I don't have eyes, I face you directly, like I can see you, and I give you a thumbs up.
All right.
I assume
Also,
Saul's surgery is probably done by now.
Yeah, so you can easily lead you in, and as soon as you go through the door, one of the nurses that's running around like crazy because this place is absolutely packed does see this woman and starts to get her situated and paperwork done and everything so that she can get her surgery done as well, and you can reunite with the rest of your crew.
This is about the point where Saul storms out and just teleports back to HQ.
Okay, bye.
Just
Tomo.
like turns out,
Hi, Tomo.
sees Demona, sees Onyx, keeps going, doesn't notice Tomo.
Doesn't notice any. No, I think I literally said she just walks out and just teleports. She was pissed off.
I gotta keep the time continuity. Whoop.
Yeah, pretty much it's just one of those things of like, let's just go through.
Mm-hmm.
I have the strangest feeling I should turn into a cat.
A cat? Oh.
Probably looks a lot like that. Pawing the mic and everything.
So you guys sort of all gather up and can probably share some of the knowledge that you guys have learned that Tomo hadn't quite yet. That Demona had realized what it was that created these explosions. Demona recognized these as atomic burners. They're
not mine.
You keep saying that, and the more you say it, the more I don't believe you.
Still in my C4 right here.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
That these devices haven't been used in probably about over 300 years, maybe 400, since the machine wars of Neo-Radami. And they have been outlawed on every face, every part of Radix because they are so destructive, particularly because once the fire starts, it is exceedingly hard to put out. And also, they melt people's eyes, that too.
It'll keep burning as long as the world is turning.
You're presuming that they can be extinguished because you don't know of any that were used in the machine war that are still burning. But Demona does know that it takes a lot to put it out.
Because she would have studied them to try and cause them.
Of course she would.
You need like 2 E spells to do that, and they're all forgotten by now.
No, there's still B, the most important of spells.
I send a random B.
It's true.
Also, another key thing, which I figure I probably should. Saul would tell that other places around Radix were hit too, not just here too, but a bunch of other places.
Wait, Saul's gone. She teleported.
She came. I figure this is like we came back. We're catching you up now.
Oh, okay.
Because she literally teleported, got info, and then teleported back.
Okay, I was gonna say because otherwise Tomo would probably just contact her over the HUD from the Henshin thing.
Yeah, no, she would have came back pretty quickly.
So the list of places that Sol knows were hit. She knows that the Desert of Magnetics in near Rosa Gallica was hit. Neo Tokyo in Los Angeles was hit.
Just Los Angeles?
Los Angeles with a
Oh,
T.
Los Angeles. Okay,
Yeah.
I just heard Los Angeles. I was like,
That's fair.
A few,
Yeah.
a few of these may or may not be puns. Just maybe.
gotcha.
No, never with you.
There may or may not be a wreck swamp filled with ogres.
There was Scotty, do you remember what we were calling the little portions? Regions?
Regions, yes.
Yes. A region near Luxor Prime, known as Black Star, was hit. The Sad Frontier in Subnautica. Shin Sakai in Heaven's Towers. Tanset Desert in Neo Avalon. Winter's End in Borealis. And Rattledune, a desert in Giant's Peak. And the one that you care the most about, Tomo, the actual city of Shaya Arcology was hit. The main coastal city, as well as one of their border cities, Neutron City. Sol knows that they hit government buildings like coliseums and stadiums, and a lot of like high-profile political places and places of media presence.
So when Saul says Shy Arcology, like Tomo's wearing like her new Henshin get up too, and like she just kind of pops the helmet off and just like sits down somewhere. It just doesn't respond to anybody after that. Like she's just completely despondent.
Saul will very quickly send a text, get on her phone and send a message out to someone.
Okay.
And then go and try and comfort Tomo a bit.
Oh, hey, who is this Solitude that just tweeted me?
Nope, definitely not you. Not you, Barkley.
Anyway. Brooke probably just
Also, it's
garbage.
really early in the morning at that point, I think.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
It was a desert
we can
area.
say at this point you guys made it back to your actual house.
One question: the desert area was Giant's Peak. There was nearby a desert area that was hit, right?
There was, yes.
Okay.
I think they're probably dead.
No, Onyx people are currently living in a forest area because
That's true.
Currently turned all to forest. So, but she didn't. So yeah, that's the whole thing there. But
oh, it's a whole thing.
So she her used Giant's Peak. It's like perks up for a moment, but it's like
So we've had a long rest.
We'll say yes at this point.
Okay.
Because you and I both lost.
Probably wasn't the most restful, but it was the physicalness that you need to actually get your spells back and shit.
Perfect. And then we go see the Shadow Henshin. Whoop, whoop.
And we'll say that at this point, Tomo was probably sort of spacing out until.
Yeah, she's just kind of like following along, kind of like a zombie.
And no one says anything.
Yeah, like, nothing really said.
On the way there, like Onyx turns to Saul and is like, "Is Tomo okay? Like, did she get possessed or something?"
Well, it's kind of awkward because Tomo's an eternal ray, but
yeah,
can't really say, "Are you a zombie?" You seem kind of deathly. And it's like, wow, racist.
Oh, believe me, Kat, there was even worse earlier. With Kev, with the whole putting the squirrel in front of Cyberus' face. So
I remember that one, yes.
Yeah, Saul would just kind of shrug. I don't know. She hasn't said much to me. Right? I'm assuming she probably hasn't. Oh. No, okay.
Like, yeah, like you said, Soul tried to comfort her, and she was probably just like Just like she did that thing where like you're like, hey, you okay? And she's just kind of going like this.
So then Saul would say, yeah, no, something's wrong with her, and I'm assuming something to do with sheer archaeology. And again, I'm going to make a point thing. She sends another text out right before we're about to get taken by the Henshin.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry. She looks at a message. She doesn't reply because we get taken away. I have to recontextualize in my head where this timing goes.
I'm sorry.
Because you know exactly what's going on.
I pull out the actual fucking time travel. And blow your damn minds.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So.
Future Gurk can't wait.
A tasty meal waiting for me.
I already had enough time travel bullshit from last night's whiz, so.
Future Demona still doesn't give a shit. Thank you. Thank you for the pity laugh.
You're welcome. I'm always here for the pity laugh.
Sorry, give me a second. I am trying to deal with Microsoft Word because my my internet apparently can't handle Google Docs and Zoom at the same time anymore.
Hey.
For reasons.
My kitty is holding my hand.
Oh.
Why did you have to whisper that? It's because it's cute.
My dog fucked off. He doesn't want anything to do with me. He's cuddling. So as you guys Amit was sort of telling you guys some of what to expect and introducing you to other folks. You see another Henshin come in, this one in all black suit armor, and has a sort of like elongated wolf head with the pointy black ears, but it's not like a Wunari snout. It's like you can clearly tell it's a Henshin disguise sort of thing. Mostly because I was gonna say because the feet aren't dog shaped, but I think you guys determined in yours that Unari have normal feet.
Yeah.
He comes in and just sort of like waves from. That's Anubis. He's kind of a hard ass. But he's okay. He's cool. He's badass. He'll fuck your shit up. So Anubis, these are the new recruits. What is it you guys wanted them to do? And Anubis sort of walks up and actually takes the helmet off and puts it under his shoulder, under his arm, and he is an elf. Pointed ears, long like white blonde hair, and like a distinguished looking scar like right about here or so.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like, does the ears on his helmet like match his
They
long
do.
elf? Yeah, perfect. I love it.
I was wondering the vibe I'm going for with what the helmet looks like. It's the Anubis head.
Yeah. It's a jackal head.
So it doesn't quite look like a Wunari skull, but
It is perfect.
fair.
Wow.
So he says, for your mission, we had said that it was supposed to be something difficult, yes? He sort of looks to Amit, and Amit's just like, yeah, it's supposed to be, something better than what they had. And he sort of like points to the decopods who are sort of all like still talking to each other and trying to carry one of them out, but they're all struggling because like one of them's fucking tiny ass little goblin and can't carry shit.
Oh, we're back to present where we're with the
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not back to reality.
Onyx raises a hand, so we're not just gonna kick some puppies or something like that.
Stomp on you, cats.
Better not do that.
Is there a table nearby?
Mit's just like, no, why would you kick a puppy? That's terrible.
Is there a table nearby?
Yeah.
I jump up on it. I'm a cat.
Okay.
Gonna start pushing stuff off the table.
These people don't have rules. They just let their cats climb on things.
That one's not ours.
I could always firebolt it off the table.
Please don't roast my cat.
Cat ears lower, and he gets like 10,000 wrinkles on his forehead as he scowls.
Wait, didn't you say that you were a the Sphinx cat?
Yes.
Which makes me visibly cringe because I cannot stand those cats.
Oh god, that makes everything even worse.
I just
I gotta be gross, man. I'm Gurk.
I just remembered what Kevin had said you had changed your name on Zoom too when you were the cat.
Okay, now I also know why how Gurk managed to scroll out of Onyx armors, because she was currently holding him like this.
Also, they're very greasy, apparently.
I was well lubricated, yes.
A level of grease, not real greasy, just like
Urge to firebolt it rising.
I would be quite flammable.
Anubis sort of like sits on the leans against the edge of the table where Gurk cat is, and he says, "So, your first mission: find this anarchist dick and get rid of him."
Perfect. We already planned to do that, so
Yeah, that sounds really easy.
And he sort of looks at Sol. Mission number 2, though. I want someone dead, and he's like making direct eye contact with Sol.
who do you want then?
Henshin goes by the Solar Lady.
Okay.
Name is Sammy Aura, I believe.
I know her.
Good. This should be easy then.
So why you want her dead?
He just sort of like he doesn't say anything. Amit, however, looks across the table at you and just whispers, "Daddy issues." Amit just Anubis just turns and decks him straight across the face. Oh, what the fuck, man? All right, shit. I won't talk about your weird dad anymore. Christ. He just like wanders off.
Then
turns back. You get rid of both of them, and you're in.
Do you have any information on the anarchist?
It's part of your test, isn't it?
Hey, figures if you're going to make us go after him, might as well see if you have any information on him.
Yeah, don't you support your teams?
You know, like point us in a direction.
He says, well, if I were looking, my first thought would be to look at the surveillance. Clearly he planted these bombs somewhere.
Is there anything on the table?
A bunch of like day-old coffee.
Ew.
Not like day-old, but like from the morning, and it's now getting towards afternoon. Like old coffee cups from shit. What did you call it? Icarus's.
Okay, you guys, with that quiet ambience, just hear like the slight scuffle of like a paper cup going closer to the edge of the table.
Onyx grabs Gurk by the tail.
I immediately instinctively like pull forwards. And I'm very upset.
The decapods are in the corner laughing at this stuff while sort of like still dragging their unconscious friend through the door. Anubis looks to you guys and says, presumably some of the places in this town have video footage that uploads to the cloud. You probably won't be the first to find clues about this guy. You guys aren't the only assholes looking for him. But
I mean, there's like a...
it's your test.
Oh, no, wait, I don't know that.
Find him first, you're in. Before our crew, that is, obviously. And, you know, the 27,000 other people looking for him.
Or I guess probably the bounty on him is probably by now public knowledge. Like that has
Oh,
there's like a $500 billion bounty on him or something like that. Whatever we call the money
that's definitely
here.
a thing that occurred to you. Like, if we do actually succeed in getting this guy, we're
Yeah.
in the Shadow Henshin and we're rich.
Wouldn't Demona have been notified through the mercenaries app about the bounty?
I think you checked it that session.
I think
Right.
a bounty of that size probably would also be like just newsworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
it's
mean,
to the
it's
point
all
where
newsworthy, probably.
The moment that happened, Demona, the moment you checked it, there are no other bounties. The only bounty is the anarchist.
It was 200 million.
Something like that, yeah.
It's still a shit ton of money that we will probably never spend in our lifetime.
You underestimate the power of spending.
Garbage is cheap. You don't need all that.
Oh, I'm not saying I would spend
did you
it.
see what I wrote, Kat?
I mean, I don't know. What if like spaceships
Heaven's
on the
typing
table?
right
So
now.
Oh, Lord. Great response from
Stuff
Jeff.
on the table that is starting to get knocked toward the edge. Amit is just sort of like watching from the corner, laughing at the cat. The decapods are laughing uproariously at this, and Anubis is just sort of like looking at you guys with a little bit of condescension.
He's sweating.
That too.
I'm starting to like this Anubis guy.
He glistens. He doesn't sweat.
I was gonna say, I mean, Tomo's got her helmet on at this point, but she's like, you can tell where her eyes are, and she's just staring back at Anubis,
So,
like just dead stare at Anubis.
Onyx looks like just at the Anubis guy. It's like, so like when we join, like who or what decides what I cosplay as?
It's not a.
She has a
Soul
good
kind of smirks a little at that. And looks to Onyx, just mouths.
Choose you, and your theme will typically make itself known. Like, he sort of like gestures to Soul and Tomo. They have their own unique themes. Question: Soul, what does Soul's uniform look the same as it always did, or no?
Yes, it is the exact
Okay.
same.
They have their own theme. But find yours. It's the magic of
She
the
shrugs and
recaptures or comes
nods.
shit.
It's like, okay.
At this point, there is now like a line of coffee cups going all the way around the table that Gurk has been slowly patting off.
You know he still has his intelligence from his normal form, so he's like set them up so it's gonna be like a domino effect. So when he gets the last one there, all of them are gonna fall off the table.
I love this.
He sort of like turns to the rest of you. Well, there's nothing else.
Do you have any contacts in law enforcement that we could meet up with?
We can handle this. Don't worry about the Cyberus. I got a plan.
All right.
Good luck.
It's good because I don't have a plan.
You
And
never have a plan, Onyx.
right after you say that, all the cups fall.
We should go. This place is a mess.
At that point, Depression Blue comes from the other room, sort of like, okay, so everybody get your sacks. We're going back through again, obviously.
I forgot that was an NPC's name.
Depression.
Depression Blue.
Hold on, I'm just gonna point out. Oh, literally, Saul goes by Solitude.
Fair enough.
So, all
Tomo's
right,
full
your
name is
burlap sacks
Tomorrow.
on.
Can't you just
He, like,
teleport us to that
very
alley?
Gently hands it to Onyx.
Yeah, I kind of maybe need a new one because I ripped this one apart.
Fine. Yep. Crap.
I can
One
also
of you guys go get and one of the dodecapods is just like, wait, what? Drops the friend that he had been like halfway dragging into the room and runs off to get you another one.
Another friend?
Another burlap sack.
I always use more friends.
A friend.
can I keep this one anyway, like as a
Memento.
memento?
Dementa.
Memento.
Depression goes, yeah, sure. And Anubis from the back, no, leave it. Make sure that you take them with you when you drop them off.
Tomo just kind of leans over to them.
Onyx looks at Depression Blue and wonders how he is like trying to get it back once Anubis is no longer there. So like she can try, sure, but
Scene tensions are rising. You just hear like a cup scattering on the ground as Gurk is just playing with the cup.
Go ahead and give me an insight check, Onyx. Because you're like sizing Depression up, right?
yeah.
Sizing up depression.
That's the one thing you can never beat.
Saul does that every day.
I see you, depression.
That's a 18 total.
You can't really tell. Like, the guy doesn't look extraordinarily burly, but just sort of like based on the way he's holding himself and the sort of outfit he has, it reminds you a little bit of Tomo's and a little bit of Soul's, and you're like, that probably has some kind of weird magic. It could mean that he's a wimp and he'll go down in one hit, or it could mean he could fireball you straight to hell.
I feel like one of us or both of us feel attacked here. Either Tomo or me.
But he sort of just puts the bags on everybody. Okay.
Also, Kat, I did convince him the last time that he didn't need to put a bag on my head.
You did. You did, I think. Yeah.
I did, yes.
Also, I don't think Gurk has one because he's just a cat.
And he's like, I'm not going to touch your red cat. I'm sorry.
I mean, you didn't
I got it. Gurk, come here.
You want to keep him?
Almost on signal. Almost like the cat can understand everything he's saying. I come over and I start rubbing on his legs, being all friendly.
Onyx also once more makes it like, doesn't put it like on like a hood, but just does this again.
Okay.
This time, however, wisely not
breaking her skull.
Almost breaking her skull with a burlap sack. It's she rolled. That's with my bonus. Total of 12.
Okay. He throws a coffee cup at you.
I don't think that I think he'll hit me probably.
He does indeed hit you. Just sort of barely though. Like he hits you and you're like, did a strong breeze hit me? I mean, you are literally a rock person, and it is a empty paper coffee cup. Also, he kind of rolled for shit. So he starts to lead you guys back the way that you came, and you, at least those of you who can see, can clearly tell how you're retracing your steps, and so you can again recognize. And now, Tomo, that you're more aware of what's going on, you both recognize as this is the sensation of a Henshin teleporter, but it should not work for them. You guys would both know that the way that the teleporter is set up, they only work for Henshin. So if you guys were to go as a team, it would only transfer the two of you. The rest of your party would be left.
Curious.
And soon enough, you guys find yourself back out in the little alley right next to that coffee shop where you guys first met him. And he says, "Well, okay, burlap sacks back, please."
Onyx pulls off the one burlap sack again from her face.
14,
I think. So that beats with what she tied it, so that it comes off, and this time she doesn't rip it apart.
Okay.
She hands him that one and pockets meanwhile the other one, like trying to be a bit stealthy about this.
Okay. Give me 1 second. He does count them. I need the last one.
I left it at the HQ. Just dropped it because the Anubis guy said I shouldn't take it.
I saw her do it. You were looking at the cat.
Meow.
Sarcastic meow. Oh shit. Ads. No, stop. Why? I just pulled up my fucking magic spells app. Stop it.
Rip.
We were getting attacked by a wizard.
He says, seriously, Anubis will kill you if he finds out you took that shit.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, you're the one who's not getting the sack back.
This whole time, by the way, Tomo's pacing back and forth.
Eventually, Onyx is like, pulls out the thing, fine, fun, and slaps it in his face.
Demona's just standing in the back, just smoking.
That's by the way, that's a 24 to hit.
Take his head off with a piece of fabric.
You do hit him square in the face. I understand the rules are shitty, but he probably has some weird reason for it.
Would
Oh my god! I don't want to know what he uses those for.
Would either
I put it on my face.
He does actually laugh at that. Yeah, he's weird, but no, it's probably something about how he's super fucking paranoid.
Yeah, would Tomo or I realize know anything about that? Like, could it be used to track something? Like, see where they something like that.
You guys can all make Arcana checks if you want.
All right.
Where's my dice?
I got an
Only we
18.
had like bugs that you could put in there. That would have been so fun now. Listen in on the Henshin.
Bugs. When you said bugs, I just pictured the corrupted monster things.
No, I meant
that could be pretty funny.
Yeah, we should send those in there.
Bugs.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say I should just put a swarm of scorpions in a sack and be like, here you go.
Onyx suddenly becomes a kobold inventor.
Go put on a stick.
26 on the Arcana.
Oh,
Damn.
shit. Okay. Did anybody else roll?
I rolled an 18.
17, but I'm a cat, so it's whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Cat Gurk thinks he's got it, but the other two, you can actually voice your thoughts on this. You're pretty sure you can use something like that to scry. You're not 100% sure where it would scry to, but just the fact that it could be used to track somebody.
Does Depression have
surprised
any
he
loose
wants
material?
them back, because otherwise you could scry on us easily.
He
Weird.
sort of
dude.
looks at you guys. You're assuming that.
I mean, Onyx doesn't say that because she has no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's no clue about that.
Cat Gurk goes up to him and just like gets up, like kind of like stands on him, uses his leg as a prop, and like the front paw is just like meow, like he's begging for food.
Make a persuasion check.
All right. All right, that worked about as much as I expected it to. Yeah, 7.
Cat's funny. Gross, but funny. And he just sort of like pushes you away gently. Wipes his hand on like whoever's standing nearest to him.
It's probably Onyx.
Probably Onyx, yeah.
Onyx.
Well, good luck. Don't die.
How do we get back here?
We'll find our way. Don't worry about it, Cyberus.
I'm trying to worry about things, and you're not letting me.
Don't worry about it.
And he turns around and he goes back into
We have his phone number,
the coffee
remember?
shop that's now dark and all the lights are off, and closes and locks the door.
Tomo, we need to go to... once he's gone and out of earshot, she'll look to Tomo. We got to get to HQ right now.
So Tomo just kind of looks at you and goes, I've been trying to contact him on my HUD for the past 5 minutes.
Sol
You
nod.
Did not get through to them until you made it back to Del Diablo.
Yeah.
Once you stepped into this alley, you were
and
it started ringing, but you sort of probably immediately hung up, realizing, oh shit, yeah, this guy's actually going to talk to us again. Maybe I should not be on the phone.
I mean, I don't think he would know with my full mask, but
Hard to concentrate. Well, it's up to
Fair.
you. What would you do? You heard it ringing.
I'd probably let it ring. I'd just leave it ringing for a second.
We'll say about halfway through that conversation, an awkward standoff between Onyx and Depression. You do hear Henshin HQ. Can I help you?
So I want to run this by you because I have an idea with the way that her like new setup works.
Mm-hmm.
Is have like a, I don't know what that would be called. It's almost like a keyboard in the HUD that she can use.
They
Like
have
she,
that technology.
okay, like yeah, like
It's,
she can use her eyes to.
Optical tracking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there. She's back. Okay. You muted.
it
There you
full
go.
on crashed on me.
Yeah, I saw that. You like.
Yeah, it looked like you turned into Demona. There were 2 Demonas.
Yeah, I was like, oh, 2 Demona.
Oh crap, we got a new DM.
Sorry. I'm the DM now.
But yeah, I want
Oh
to
god, I'm
use
prepared for this at all. Oh wait, that's just normal things for me.
I want to use the optical tracking keyboard to like, I guess like text to voice the person on the other end.
You could do that,
say
or you can also you would know they usually use like a full-on computer to communicate with Henshin, so that you can feed them actual video footage and everything right away through the HUDs.
Okay, yeah,
Because
then I'll do that. I'll just do that straight up and just put a tag under it, be like Shadow Henshin.
You just sort of like get the dots of like somebody's typing, and it's there for a hot second and says, someone will contact you in a moment.
Several people are
Let me
typing.
get somebody higher up, because like you're aware that the person who usually answers the phone isn't necessarily a high clearance individual, and a lot of times they're not even a Henshin. They're just a person that's tired.
The secretary.
Yeah, because it's a big ass headquarters that has hundreds of thousands of people in it. And we'll say that while you're on the equivalent of text hold, the rest of that conversation transpires, and you guys are now left alone.
All right, and also while Demona's on hold, Saul's putting her artistic skills to use and drawing a picture of Anubis's face looks like.
Wrong half of the Ghost Rider crew.
Onyx is also putting her artistic skills to use. Like she has like also
and drawing dicks on the wall.
Notebook. No, she's and she has a little sketchbook too. And in her sketchbook, she is sketching her in her own imagined Henshin uniforms.
That is adorable.
Are we
So-
in the alley?
Going to try and recreate exactly what he looks like, more or less police sketch it.
Okay.
So
We
real
head back
quick,
to our base for this.
Go ahead, Demona.
I was just going to say, as far as the artistic skills are required, it would probably not be necessary because Demona would definitely have snuck a picture of Anubis, if possible, by DM.
You did not
okay.
say it.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Well, Saul's
Also, he
Inferior
would
camera would be
definitely
noticed.
have not allowed that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Henshin helmets
You would
have
have been
like
dead.
cameras on them.
Saul doesn't have a helmet, so
Imagine sliding
Mine
over and
does.
So
oh,
doesn't
you're
have
so
a
cool.
helmet.
Let's take a selfie. Click.
And Tomo, you knew the moment that you actually, after
I
you saw
assumed
that
it was
teleport,
blocked.
It was the equivalent of like white noise. Like you
Yeah,
could see out of it, but you know that you're not able to record and not able to contact out.
Yeah, I assumed there was some sort of ECM field.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and roll your, I'll say, I guess artist dex based. So
sleight of hand.
Wouldn't that be like
proficiency-
intelligence based because she's
have
drawing
No,
from
no,
memory?
Hera, shut up, Dex face.
Because you have
Shut
artist
up.
tools, right? Proficiency with that, right?
I both have artist tool, painter supplies, and calligraphy tools as a proficiency.
Go ahead and roll them bones then.
While they're doing that, I would like to note that Demona at this point would be trying to get as much information to the gentleman as possible through the phone.
So,
Okay.
Kat, you said it would be Dex based, or
Yes, dex.
okay, so 25.
It's really nice. Cool. What are you doing with it?
Well, obviously I saw Tomo making the call, so waiting for Tomo to get whatever is going on there so we can talk to someone important on the phone.
A few moments
Shows
later,
Tomo
you
it.
hear
At debating which NPC to use.
yeah, kind of. You actually see they text safe to talk or still text.
We're safe to talk.
The voice clicks on. Sounds like a woman's voice, probably like older, but it's hard to tell sometimes because so you said you have talked to the Shadow Henshin?
That is correct. I have another Henshin with me, Solitude. I can
Okay.
tap her into this conversation as well.
That would probably be smart, yes.
So Tomo just kind of like motions for Solitude to come over.
At this point, yes, you guys are still hanging around in the alley.
Perhaps we should get in the van.
Is
I can drive
depression?
if you guys want to do
Is
phones.
depression still there, or is depression left?
No, he went into the coffee shop.
Okay.
He went into the coffee shop.
Okay. So I'm still. I'm gonna stay at camp.
You are
till...
probably at this point, Gurk, getting to. Wait, no, you're really high level. Never mind. You got like 3 hours.
Yeah,
on
I
your-
get. It hasn't even been an hour. I would like to think.
Oh, we're still in the alley. I thought we.
My
had
brain
left.
is like, it's only an hour, and I'm like, no, that's like at level 2.
Yeah, I was about to say we got teleported there. Had a brief conversation with them, and then we're in the alleyway. Maybe been 30 minutes.
Half an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe so. I would actually maybe suggest maybe we should just return to HQ. Probably safer that way.
Okay.
No one can hear us.
Yeah, Tomo will be like, that's probably a better idea. We're gonna come in.
Okay.
We can have this conversation in person.
Yeah. Be safe.
All right.
The
look Kat gave her computer there.
My computer is dying. Give me 1 second. Shit. It's the one I have all my notes on. No, stop it, computer. Why are you unplugged?
Like it's like my headphones. I love that. I love my Bluetooths, but like when they get close to dying, they just keep beeping at me, and I'm like, thanks for interrupting my music.
Yep, I feel that.
Yeah, it's almost like the hearts in the Legend of Zelda stuff that I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, thanks, I know I'm dying. Shut up.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be the Mech Warrior bitch and Betty.
God.
It is alive. Apparently, pulling it to this side of the table, unplugged it from the wall. For those wondering, I yoinked Kevin's laptop so that I could have them both because my computer apparently can't handle Google Docs and Zoom at the same time. Yay!
Yay!
So now you have to have 2 computers to do 2 different programs.
Yep.
I mean, I do that when I DM, so. But that's mostly because it's nice to have one computer showing all my information and the other one having the maps and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one day far in the future, after I don't get shit for buying a dog instead of a computer, I'd like to have a computer that can handle multiple programs at once.
But yeah, so I guess we'll return home and then go to HQ from there.
I guess, yeah.
Just so they're not standing around here suspiciously.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, please, because I'm hungry and I don't know.
Let's stop at the restaurant on the way back.
And also, Kat, while we're kind of trying to, Skull's trying to, the main one she wanted to get in good detail. The rest she's kind of just trying to sketch out as many of the ones as she can remember, pretty much, in detail.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Before we make it back to the apartment, Tomo's gonna call the apartment and talk to Seth.
I was so ready to ask who's the first one in the front door.
Yeah, I figured.
That would be really funny to do that.
So when you guys do come in, even though he knows you're there, you do see Seth poking from around the corner with the butcher knife. So everyone's alive. Oh, so do your eyes look normal or no?
No, she's not given up, but just not figured it's not worth the time right now to.
I'm guessing at least 2 of you were close to the blast. You're not dead though. Good luck. And he's like pointing with the knife holding hand, giving a thumbs up.
Seth,
Put my knife away.
What were you gonna do with that?
I mean, I was gonna. I don't know.
Survival of the fittest.
It's a butcher knife, like
It's for cooking.
it's for cooking.
I
You do
guess
know we have real weapons in this house, right? Like
You don't.
if you
Someone
ever
couldn't find them.
That's because we carry them.
Demona said that we didn't have any weapons in the house.
No,
right?
Demona doesn't live in the house.
Have
What
you-
does she know?
have you seen my arms? I don't need any weapons. There's like in my room, there's behind the bed, you know, like there's this locker, and in the second
Don't go into the first.
no, don't go into the first. That's private.
Is it locked?
No.
Look, I'll be real with you, Seth. I have a gun. I'm not giving you my gun.
I could give you a sword.
Fair.
Seth, I have short swords, so I one at least you can have.
I've got a bunch.
I kind of want to keep my dagger. It's really useful.
My
I thought no one was allowed.
value, so.
I thought no one was allowed in the first closet.
Unari De-Fragger, I have a bunch of swords.
I have all the swords.
All right. Well, anyway, so we should go in.
He might actually have the only swords among all of you.
No, Onyx has
Oh,
I got
Onyx
5.
has a sword. She just never uses it.
Yeah, she never uses it.
Saul has a dagger.
I have a
A
whip.
tiny sword.
Why would I bother getting a sword? I have the deadly accessory.
I mean,
I literally have whips and chains.
to be honest,
Onyx does
Demona
too.
has a sword. It's just a Shadow Blade spell.
I mean, that
Yeah.
counts.
Onyx walks up, and you can hear like the bunk that you hear every time when she opens her door, because the bed is so big that it blocks the door. Then you can hear her crawling over her bed because it blocks the entire room.
Sith just kind of looks to the rest of you. He's like, "Am I supposed to be following her? Because I feel like if I follow
wouldn't
her into her
recommend
bedroom,
it.
she's gonna punch the shit out of me."
I wouldn't.
I mean, she might do that
And
anyways.
before he can actually follow her, like she's back and hands him like her short sword. It's not very good quality, but it'll do the job. You can also see that she sometimes, like, she wasn't really like a fencer or anything, so it has seemed some improper use, and there's like some
The
kinks
one
in the
edge
blade.
is just like blunt as fuck. It's like curved to the
Yeah.
side.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's magical. And I just go boop, and as I touch the blade, I cast bee, and a bee just appears on it.
Let's go, Tomo.
Okay.
I know, maybe you find someone
That's like
to cast
moves the
mending on
sword and
it.
is like trying to shoo the bee away.
It will.
What?
Hera, it's like
uh,
what happens when we try cooking and the bee gets into the house.
Oh God!
Technically, since he's holding it, he was the target of the spell, so the bee stays around him.
That is
Oh.
cruel, and I love
Rock?
it.
Make your weird bee go away. Is it gonna turn like? Is it gonna have tentacles? Is it gonna be weird like you?
Oh, what are you talking about? It's a bee.
It's so gonna be weird.
Are you talking down to tentacles?
I mean, if that's your jam, that's cool and all. I just don't expect bees to have them.
I am so glad Demona would not be there for this conversation.
Also, now that I think about it, I don't require concentration on this, so bee, everywhere.
That is like
You can only
shit.
have one instance of the spell active at a time.
Immediately
You
bee is
summon-
nerfed.
You summon a single bee. The bee remains within 30 feet of the initial target for 10 minutes.
You can hear at the same time as Gurk is going B, Onyx is.
The bee disappears if it gets to 0 HP or the spell ends. I'm just trolling you.
They only have
do one.
10 AC, so it shouldn't be hard for Onyx to smack the bees.
All right, let's get out of here, Tomo, before
gonna try to eat that
this
bee.
bee on us.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, which
Bee.
way is the Henshin HQ?
We just
I've
teleport
never-
there.
Oh,
You have a bee on
that
you
makes
when
sense
you get there.
too.
You're within
I'm just
15
gonna
feet,
drive,
so
but-
bee.
That's a dead bee.
It's written down. No more than one bee per person.
Dead bee.
Just at the end of the spell, all you have to put is the bee disappears at 0 HP, or the spell ends, or if you cast it again.
That helps. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's like
very easy.
4 extra
Drag-
words.
Stop casting this fucking spell.
Okay,
Or the next one of these, and she claps another bee, is gonna hit you.
I can summon more if it's not enough.
I'm going to say that the bee corpse disappears after it dies, after a moment.
Probably.
Because I'm like,
Says that on the
Rock would
text.
probably definitely have a dead pile of bees otherwise. And I'm like, wait, they're summoned creatures, so they should probably disappear.
They're like
So-
fey bees, and they disappear back into the fey
They're
world.
they're free. They're freebies. I'll
Great.
be here. I'll be here all week, folks. Just kidding. I'm leaving tomorrow. But anyway,
Okay, so Soul and Tomo are going to Ranger Corps. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I cast ethereal bees.
Kirk's just like, nope, gotta spend all these spell slots, baby.
No, this is the first
Not-
spell slot today.
It's not 2E. You don't have to spend spell slots to get EXP.
I think you can cast Ethereal Bee as a ritual too.
Can you?
I'm double checking.
I think so. There was one spell that
Oh my god, I can. I do that. Oh, and okay. Material component: a dead bee. So yeah,
So that's what Gruk's doing, and presumably also what Onyx is doing.
They can't be hurt. They're ghost bees.
They can't be hurt?
They can't be
Onyx
hurt.
is just killing bees and then eventually panics and freaks the fuck out when she's swarmed by ghostly bees she can't actually hurt.
They do hurt me, though, I think. I punched Grok. He summoned the fucking bees.
Not the bees!
The first PvP so far has been because of the bee cantrip.
Can I cast this and they don't attack? They just appear. I don't want to try to harm.
Target.
Yeah, but I'm not going to harm you with them. Why would I do that?
I
Who knows why you do
know.
anything?
Misbehave?
You would punch me. That would be against my own survival. That'd be like suicidal.
Yes, it would be. On the other hand, you would maybe occur more corruption, so
Maybe.
before you die.
Before
Really
I die.
confident for
We're
that.
having this interesting conversation. What are Cyberus and Demona doing?
Kill a bear.
With a knife.
Demona's already done that. She'd be check.
You did.
No, that was the training. Demona would be checking if any of her special orders have come in.
Ooh.
Special orders.
Special orders like mail order brides or
Special order like
husbands?
explosives?
special order like Onyx's first closet that no one's allowed in.
Hey.
No.
Oh, someone's allowed in it.
I'll be honest. Kevin didn't tell me shit, so I don't know if you had like something on commission that didn't get to you yet or what.
No, that was what we were talking about before.
Oh, well, you haven't actually asked for them yet, so if that's a
I thought that was the entire conversation that we was literally talking about it.
about the
Yes.
stuff with the getting
The debt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I said. I had mentioned that was the thing that we'd have to RP, but you can, while you guys are having this conversation, like, okay, how do I get into this? So you learn. You guys don't know this yet, but Demona is sort of like looking at the websites online because you haven't been in Del Diablo that long and you haven't applied for a loan. To get a loan in Del Diablo, you're pretty certain, based on the contract that the gentleman gave you, he does offer loans. Unfortunately, all of his loans are in gentleman dollars.
Yeah, no, I've said before, I'm not dealing with any of the gentleman dollars. I'll take the fucking bank.
You can also get them from the banks. The banks are owned by the Count and Countesses in Del Diablo, which are a step above the big bosses. So they would be one step higher than the gentlemen. They offer loans. They still have, you have to pay them back, obviously, monthly. Or you can do a repayment by work, which is effectively the same thing you do for the gentleman. But because they're a little bit higher up on the rank, their loans tend to be, you get more out of them, but the jobs that the favors they ask for return tend to be more dangerous.
Yep. I would go ahead and want to get both of the items that we discussed through the banks.
Okay. We'll say that you can do that. It's going to take them a couple of days to get to you, though.
Crap. Okay.
I mean, it's paperwork. It can't happen instantly. Especially considering you literally just had a major attack in the city.
That's understandable.
So that's what
There was a
Demona
major
did.
attack with explosive, and Demona is trying to buy explosives.
First world problems.
You
Darn
guys
it,
don't
my
know. You
ship.
don't know what Demona is doing.
But I
That's for the
I know. That was the
Safe to
joke.
assume she's trying to buy explosives.
That's fair.
Or fertilizer.
I mean, you're probably not wrong, but you're wrong.
What?
I mean,
So-
probably.
The opposite of explosives.
What is Cyberus doing at this point?
I'm gonna cook everyone a big meal for comfort food because it's been a long day, and then I'm gonna check the internet for any sort of viral videos of people seeing something related to the explosions. Maybe someone caught a video of people doing something suspicious.
Maybe a basketball player tweeting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask about that actually. How does Del Diablo have like a, what would that be called? Like a
we
like a
like-
bubble?
Great
Are-
Chinese firewall.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to
like,
say,
are we
North-
isolated?
Are we
An
North
Iron
Korea?
Curtain?
Yeah.
A corrupted internet.
So pretty much you guys, your only connection to the outside world is through the net, aside from the Henshin, because you have the sort of back door. Looking online, it's not as easy to find vaccine websites because they're not necessarily blocked, but the algorithm doesn't show them up as often. It's going to take you a while to find some stuff, but you can find various different things online.
They only show up on page 85 of the Google results.
I'm also going to get Seth, who's an IT guy, to help try to find some maybe.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that with Seth's help, you can find some stuff easily.
Oh, since you were making food for everybody, Gurk would cast a good berry once, so you can add a berry into each person's meal, so it counts as their meal for the day.
Oh, nice.
Like adding protein powder to a meal you're already making.
It's like hiding a pill in a fish when you feed it to one of those emotion penguins that we talked about.
You're like cooking a sirloin steak with A1 sauce, and I'm like, here's some protein powder.
I'm so confused. I completely zoned out of the conversation in the Zoom chat, or not the Zoom chat, the Discord chat.
Which one? The one I'm involved. The one I was making jokes in.
I just remember something about penguins.
Yes.
Okay.
Penguins.
Okay.
Oh
Penguins.
God, my computer. Why? Okay.
Yeah, the reason I was asking about the curtain thing on that is if there wasn't one, I'd have to like if there was like a shot, so to speak, from inside Tomo's helmet, there's like a bunch of video screens on her HUD that's just like Shea Arcology and you know, like she's looking at the towns and seeing how bad like Shea Arcology got hit, how bad Del Diablo got hit.
Oh, could you look up Heaven's Towers?
I mean, I'm not there right now, but I can do that.
I think Cyberus was also looking some stuff up as well.
Yeah, that's mostly what I'm doing is the internet.
Were they attacked as well?
The main city, no, but there was one of the regions around it was.
Okay.
So first up, for Shaya Arcology, now that it's been about a day or so, things are starting to get more clear. People are seeing things. The general consensus is that, like Sol said, everyone is convinced, everybody beyond your not Iron Curtain, everybody in the vaccine world does seem to think that Del Diablo did this. They don't know why necessarily. There's a lot of talk going on between the different places. So Shire Arcology, you find one video. It's actually not a video, it's an audio. It's from a radio interview. And the reporter says, so we have, I understand, an eyewitness on the phone right now. Sir, what is your name? And the response, my name is Throndaxi, Wit Throndaxi. And he says, okay, so Mr. Throndaxi, where are you now? Well, I'm at the Food Town Grocery on Cold Creek Road. I work here. I was literally just bagging up a woman's groceries, and I felt like wind rushed past me, but not like blowing, like it sucked everything away, and it was silent for a second. And the customer asked me something, and I couldn't hear her. And then I couldn't breathe for a second. There was this flash of light, and the hospital across the street was just gone. There was dust and screaming, and when the dust cleared, there was just rubble. And a gout of fire taller than any skyscraper I've ever seen. You find out that looking along there, the explosion, because it hit the coastal city, did cause tsunamis that hit a couple of the surrounding regions.
Tomo was having a mini breakdown again.
You see footage of, you know that Shire Arcology is known for their advancements in medical research. And you see doctors everywhere, like footage of doctors literally on the street where people have spilled out of hospitals and are trying to treat people in the middle of the street where there's just rubble lying around and vehicles with the sirens going beside them. You see footage of a news broadcaster who is still doing the news with bandages covering their eyes.
Is there with this video, like it's like a news broadcast?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a shot of a beach with like a boardwalk?
We'll say that you can find one, yeah. You do see members that you recognize of the Baywatch. It's hard to really tell who's who, but you recognize the uniform. You're pretty sure that you see blue skin, but it's hard to tell if you recognize exactly who it is. You're pretty sure that her hair would have been shorter, but it's hard to tell. Looking around, Heaven's Towers. You guys hear that Shin Sakai was hit. And that area is known as one of the major food production areas for Heaven's Towers. You see that the video footage from there is just footage of fields burning for miles and miles. Farmers that are fleeing out of their homes. You see that it looks like they'll be fine for a couple of days, but things are gonna get rough for the people in Heaven's Towers. Gurk is from near there, yes? Maybe. Some of you then would know that. Actually, you guys can tell pretty easily looking at the websites, especially with Seth's help, because he can find you places in the not so savory parts of the web. You guys can easily tell that the black market is thriving right now in Heaven's Towers, to the point where it's actually more efficient than the government, because they are on the ground. They know exactly what people need. And it seems that people are just trying to get by as well as they can. You guys see that in Asphodel, the Hilled City, one of the areas that was hit was called Hell's Point. It's actually a volcanic wasteland, and it seemingly triggered earthquakes and more eruptions of other volcanoes and other regions nearby. And see footage of more farms burning, but these are much more small scale, and like actual villages that are just overwhelmed by the pyroclastic flow of these volcanoes that were triggered by the attacks. There is footage for days. You guys are seeing this. Every single corner, every single face of the world was hit except for the one that contains Neoradamy. And you guys do see, especially considering you guys were just talking to them, you do see people are trying to help. It's not just chaos in this footage. There are policemen, firefighters, adventurers in full plate, and like mages that are trying to put out fires, and Henshin all over the place. Knights of the Grid, the individuals dedicated to protecting the world from corruption, usually. All over the place. Sol, you probably, Sol and Tomo, you probably recognize a handful of the Henshin, but it's hard to focus on who's who, just that there's so much footage. Looking at it, since you've had a couple of days to look at it, they're estimating that it was probably about 400 million casualties worldwide. For comparison, the worldwide population is about 24 billion, or about 2 billion per side of the D12. It has been a worldwide tragedy. lots of places are talking about war, are wondering what's going to happen. You have seen that most of the no government has actually made a declaration yet, but there are politicians. There are my brain's farting out. Celebrities, sports stars talking about we need to do something. This is terrible. Something should be done. Whoever did this needs to pay.
Are they all
A lot of them are targeting. A lot of them are saying the anarchist needs to pay, but a lot of them are blaming Del Diablo.
Are any talking about how Del Diablo was also hit with bombs?
Seemingly no. You are aware that not a lot of information goes from the other way, because so the way that Del Diablo works is within the city itself, they look at themselves as a sanctuary. They have cut themselves off from the rest of the world. They don't want anything to do with them. So they don't necessarily project. Nobody in, Shia Arcology gets the Del Diablo newspaper.
Does
you dig far enough for it, you can find it, but it's not exactly easy.
So probably the only place where people outside of Del Diablo can even get news from Del Diablo is probably social media stuff.
Henshin too.
And
Social
only
media.
then if they probably seek out the same places that those that are basically the corrupted social media places, if they seek those out and look at those.
Del Diablo has somewhat intentionally made themselves very much into an echo chamber.
I wonder why.
I was gonna ask if what's his name that runs the giant spider library, if his same magic is actually used on the entire city. Because if I recall, Demona tried to take a picture of some of the books, and it immediately made those images not usable. Do you think the government of Del Diablo would do something like that?
You're pretty sure they don't, just because you're fairly certain that scale of magic would be very difficult. You imagine that if they do something like that, it's going to be more technology based. It's going to be a firewall. It's going to be an encryption of blocking the internet access from other parts of the world, like real life places that do that.
Onyx would actually start looking at the one place they personally went to and nearly got blown up, and in terms of like would see if there's any if you can get our hands on any security footage from before the explosion, and watching it basically from the point of explosion backwards.
Okay. Before we get to that one, do we want to skip back to the Henshin, perhaps?
Yes.
Yes.
So you guys, when you teleport in, you're going to Phil?
I figure they probably control where we can go. So if they want, honestly, like, where would we have been told to meet them?
Yeah,
That would be the big thing.
They would tell you, they would message you, Soul, and say, no, come home.
All right.
And when you guys can use your recasters to sort of set them in the right place to basically perform a very localized teleport, so that just whoever is the controller of the recaster teleports. And both of you appear in a teleportation chamber within, you're pretty sure, within Ranger Command. It's sort of closed off. There is a window, but it's sort of frosted over for privacy. And it's one of the small scale ones. It's not for full teams, it's for individuals. I have no idea what you have, Scotty.
It's a Dalek.
Oh, okay. It was so close to the camera. I'm like, is that like a salt shaker with eyeballs? I cannot tell.
It is a salt shaker, or pepper shaker.
That is amazing. All right, and I'm Kat. I assume, is Saul familiar with this one, or is this?
Is this Phil?
No, it's not Phil's. But is it the Red Amy one, or?
You're assuming so, yeah.
All right, then she probably knows where to go. Also, I assume someone's going to meet us.
When you guys actually arrive in there, there is a woman in there already waiting. Give me a second. I actually have random tables for races in the city and everything.
Nice.
She is a tabaxi, and she's wearing the usual command colors. She's not in an actual Henshin uniform at the moment. She sort of looks at the two of you. Soul, Tomo. What's happening on your end?
Nothing good.
So I'll just point to her eyes.
Tomo just points to Soul.
Well, at least you managed to find a way to deal with it. Do you need, are those painful, or we could see about getting you something that works a little better than that? And she's like sort of looking at them, and you can see she's clearly like, she knows a bit about science and whatnot. And
Saul will nod. Say, I can't stand these things.
We can see about getting something different. But what do you know? What's
So I'll just look at them. We met with the Shadow Henshin, and I have IDs on a few of them, at least pictures of them that I drew.
Oh,
We can
okay.
give you a name for at least one of them, or a
All
couple of them.
right.
Shockingly, I guess full disclosure, we'll just put this out here. It doesn't seem like they're behind it because they want the anarchist dead just as much as everybody else seems to. In fact, they kind of hired us to do it.
They asked us to do it.
Well,
Really?
So I intend to try and at least use some of that, or use them a little bit to try and find the anarchist. And that's the other reason why I wanted to talk. They sent us to they sent us on 2 missions to prove our loyalty, something like that, to prove our worth,
So, okay. All right.
One is the anarchist. They want us to find them and take them out. The other, he'll nod. The other, however, is a local Henshin, solar lady, Samiora.
And they, and she actually pulls out her tablet and starts going through. And they specifically asked for this one, yes?
Yes. They said one of them made a joke about the leader, and she'll pull out the picture of the leader having daddy issues.
Okay, that is very helpful.
He goes by Anubis, if that
any
helps.
Sketches, Anubis, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so they had a theme, presumably.
As far as just him, we saw they had another team there that was. She'll kind of pause.
So to remind you guys,
sad joke of the Feeling Force.
Really? Okay.
Wasn't there Anubis, and then before that there was one that was the Drider kind of, or were they like
there were 3
similar?
teams that you guys had seen. The Psycho Crew, which is Depression Blue. You guys met him. The Dodecapods, who are the lovable dumb idiots that got in because they didn't make the tests hard enough. And then Anubis and Amit, who had similar costumes.
Egyptian gods.
Well, and one of them they called what was it? Oh, wow, my brain just completely forgot what it was. Hera, what was it again?
The Dark Lord?
Dark Lord.
Shadow Ranger, Dark Lord, or the Shadow Henshin, Dark Lord?
Dark Warlord, yes.
Is it Dark Warlord or just Warlord?
I think it was just Warlord.
I think it was Warlord.
At least I only ever saw it just referred to as Warlord.
I wrote down Dark Warlord.
Oh, no, it is Dark Warlords, yeah.
Okay.
I have written down
Edgy.
Dark Lord, one word.
It's even edgier than they think they are.
This is very helpful. They're going to want to know about this immediately. This has been very helpful. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very concerned by this, you joining the Shadow Henshin thing. And you guys know you've seen this woman around. You're pretty sure she's in intelligence. You've never actually had a conversation with her. She's like, I know that I do not have a relationship with you. I need you to be careful. These people, Shadow Rangers, are Henshin killers. If That's where Henshin that go to them don't always come back. We've lost some to them before. I don't want it to be you guys. We don't want to lose you again.
I'll be perfectly honest. I really have no intention of joining them.
Neither do I. Especially because
the assurance.
They want me to kill Sammy, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I've been working to protect people since I figured out that's what I wanted to do with my life. I'm not going to give that up just because someone has a lead on someone I want dead.
She looks to you, Solitude. What do you know about this, Sammy?
She'll kind of pause for a second, think. I don't know much. I've been talking to her for a while. Kind of, helping her. She'll pause. Not make the same mistakes I did when starting out as a Henshin.
Hopefully not. I can tell you she's done good in this city. She's helped a few people. She's actually been here relatively recently.
After she says hopefully not, there's a pop-up on Saul's HUD that just says get wrecked.
Saul admits that she fucked up hardcore a lot. So
she says, well, you know where we are. You have Phil there if you need him. He's much closer than we are. I would recommend to be exceedingly careful contacting us around these Henshin. And she sort of picks up the book and she says, especially these Dark Warlords. If they are anything like what I suspect, they are just as paranoid as we are.
Oh,
they have eyes everywhere, just like we do. Be very careful who you trust. Soul, I believe it's probably not going to be an immediate thing to get those eyes.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my headset hit out again.
Oh, okay. She looks to Soul. For those eyes, that is something we can help with, but it's probably going to take maybe a day or so to actually get them situated in.
Sorry, 1 second. My computer's being a piece of shit.
I will type it.
Here's where the screen pops up and it shows a laptop.
For those at home, this one does tell Soul that she can get her new eyes, but it'll take her a couple of days because they're custom made.
Fancy.
Oh,
yeah. And I can hear now. I hope it'll last, but she'll not. I'll return back afterwards.
Good luck. Do you have any plan
on anything?
What you plan to tell the Henshin about your second task with Sammy?
Which the Shadow Henshin or?
Yes.
I don't plan on seeing them again, if possible.
That is a relief. Yes.
She'll pause. I would die before I had to kill someone like that. So I die again. She'll make the pause and kind of try and lighten it up a little bit.
She actually walks over and you get the feeling she's not the most touchy-feely sort of person. She does put her hand on your shoulder. We all feel that way. We appreciate what you guys are doing.
And so I'll say, if you find any information, please send it over.
You'll have it.
Perfect.
And she turns and basically does the combination on the teleporter in the room to let you guys go back to where you left.
All right.
In that meantime, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm gonna ask
Onyx
Go ahead.
Okay, Onyx is looking at the footage from the place. If she can find it from...
I'm sorry, I just tried to do a touch screen on Kevin's laptop, but my touch screen and his is not.
I do that just to bug Hera. I'll sit at her computer, just tap the screen because mine
I
is
always
touch
yell at him when he does it on my touch screen too, because he's like, "It's this," and he'll just point and forget that it's a touch screen, and he closes all my windows.
No, I do the opposite. Hera's is not touch screen, and I poke her screen just to bug her.
Okay. I have shit on this. Give me a second. You do find some stuff. What you find is now I think I remember why I didn't say it. Yeah. You find footage of what looks like it's further away, but it is exiting that building that you went in. You don't see anything that screams De-Fragger, but then again, they don't exactly stand out unless they've got all four arms out. You do, however, see this sort of squirrely looking guy come out. He's real skinny, like fuck off, soul. Are they a Wunyari? Real skinny, frail, maybe like half elf or elf. Wearing something around his neck. You can't tell what it is. It's sort of glinting in the sunlight. Probably made of gold. And you actually see as they're leaving, another person comes out of a street. Looks like out of a bar, not that far away, and bumps into him. And go ahead and give me a perception check, please. Oh shit! I just dropped.
I'm shit at those. Because everyone else. Oh, but that was not a bad roll. That was a 14 plus my modifier should be a 15. Yes, 15.
You're pretty sure that woman just pickpocketed that guy. But he continues on, seemingly not really noticing anything. You sort of zoom forward a couple of hour or so later.
Anything noticeable about the pickpocket woman?
She seems to be smoking. She looks sort of like she's limping, and you sort of like lean real close to the screen. You're pretty sure she has a cybernetic leg.
Species?
Humanoid. It's from pretty hard to tell, but seemingly human. So human, half elf, something like that. You sort of zoom forward a little bit after that, and you see that same guy with the necklace come back, sort of like scanning all around, presumably probably looking for the wallet that he dropped. And you skip forward another couple hours, and you see the group of you approaching the front doors.
All right. Okay. Another thing she would also do is once she has like gone through that, made some notes, like cut out the interesting bits basically to like show to the others. She would also look around if like on any like anti lords and if she can find like any lords and ladies sentiment now in the city, like in like message boards, social media, all that kind of stuff. Would like
how they're reacting to it.
How they're reacting to it, and if there's like some kind of movement there, something that is maybe certain figures that could be identified there that are especially egging people on, something like that. Because
it's the internet, Hera.
Yeah, but something like this cannot be done like on your own. You need people, right? So I could see them also having people to stoke the fire.
Give me a second. I have notes on this shit.
Ooh.
Okay. So looking around, you can see that the Curious Sage is continuing to go around the city as he normally would. It seems as if people are going in and out of the library quite a lot, probably to figure out how to help put out these fires. You can tell now that it's been about a day or two. The city has tried a lot of different things. They've tried water, and it instantly vaporized into mist. They tried to bury it in sand to deprive it of oxygen, and it instantly burned through the sand. What they're working on now that seems to be working and sort of putting out some of it is just piling on extremely heavy metals, iron, tungsten, titanium, steel, that sort of thing. The Curious Sage is working with the scientists and bioengineers in the city to work on how to make these cybernetic eyes faster and more efficient, because there are thousands that are now without eyes at all. Susan is on the TV constantly, probably every hour or so, giving updates, telling people to remain calm, updating people about what new clinics are open, basically just being the voice of reason, trying to
damage
keep
control.
masses. Yes. Let's see. Those are most of what you get. You don't get a ton. None of them seem to be calling for war, but it also seems like they don't show up in the news that often. They tend to. Okay. They're not American politicians. They're not on Twitter every day. But
probably good for them.
The folks lower on the totem pole, the countesses and counts. Let me pull up exactly who these people are. Certain ones of the bishops most of them are trying to keep a level head, are realizing that we don't want to have a war with the entire fucking world. But also something needs to be done. We need to at least defend our borders. We need to make sure that we're prepared. Some people are calling on which one is it? Excuse me, I have so many fucking documents.
Burdens of a DM.
Calling on the Blessed Peacekeeper to actually do something, or the Messiah to tap the warriors in the city to actually move the militia. You guys know that Del Diablo does have a militia. They're not a standing army, though. It's sort of the thing like, if a kaiju attacks, we'll call you and you come. But most of the city's actual protection force is the Knights Malefiants and the people that work for the big bosses. So like in your neighborhood, the gentleman is the law. You guys are, if shit goes down and he needs to put a stop to it, and for whatever reason the Knights Malefiants can't get to it, he sends you dumbasses or other people under his umbrella of control.
So basically the call to challenge the rule of the lords and ladies that the anarchist goal was, like this program goal, didn't work at all in Del Diablo.
It seems
or
like
not to
among them, they're not conflicting. It seems as if the lower ones down the totem pole are starting to speak out. People are. That said, it seems also like not a lot of people have given their statements. It's only been 2 days.
Okay.
It does seem, however, like a lot of them are sort of waiting to see how things go out before they make any strong statement. Of course, they've all done the, hope everybody's safe, thoughts and prayers sort of thing.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. I think Scotty wanted to do something with Gurk.
We
Yes.
are tormenting Aya, and
Um,
I feel a little bad for it.
Yeah. Hey, Onyx.
Yes.
Since I can't really see and I can't, call stuff, do you know where I could order a rock?
Onyx walks outside.
I mean, like one that's like big, like a boulder.
Yeah, and I rolled an 18 on a strength athletics check. +7, that's a 25.
Okay, where are you trying to get a boulder-sized rock from?
I don't know. I guess there's some rubble around from the explosion.
I haven't seen any
it wasn't
rubble
that
with.
close to your house.
Also,
You
I'm gonna
could
say.
potentially
I thought it
try
was,
to
like, down
roll
the
some
street.
rubble home, but it wasn't. Actually, no. It was several blocks down. I will say,
Okay,
yeah.
several
Go ahead and roll your strength. You can come back with a boulder.
Well,
Yeah.
if you
I mean,
don't
I did
say
roll, it's
anything,
25 total.
if you don't say anything and you just walk out, Gurk just
Yes.
follows you.
He just goes and asks everybody on the team for a boulder.
Oh, wait, so Onyx did find a boulder? A medium size or larger boulder?
Okay. Onyx left, and she went down the street and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I followed.
And she's probably been gone for a couple of minutes. So how long did Gurk wait before he starts asking other people?
Like she's walking out the door. She did not respond. She just walked out the door. So I followed. I'm like shadowing her.
Yeah. You hear her, because you can't actually see her, right? Because you have blind sense.
If she's within 10 feet,
tremor sense, I think.
It's equivalent to tremor sense.
Yeah.
Because it's
and sort of follow
the
her,
spider.
You realize
it's the spider blind sense, so that's like a tremor sense.
Yeah. As you're going, your passive perception is high enough. You're pretty certain you're heading to where one of those other things hit, because you can smell the dust in the air, and you actually you can feel the moisture around these things the closer you get to this beam, because the beam is still continuing up into the sky completely unimpeded almost. The moisture in the air just feels like it's completely gone. It's extraordinarily uncomfortable, especially to Trog, who, well, I know you're bony Trog, so you're not exactly moist.
I'm sorry, Scotty. I had to make the joke.
What happened to Gurk? Onyx shrugs.
And you do eventually realize, oh, that's what that sound is. Onyx is rolling a very large boulder back to the house.
Oh, you didn't need to do that. Okay. I turn into a ape in Isis with my 19 strength.
Nice.
You guys, quicker than you would have before, roll a boulder home. And there are people just watching you, looking at you.
Oh, I'm an ape
Everyone
with tusks, like orc tusks. Because that's one of my corruption traits.
Nice. Everyone who stares at them, Onyx just stares back at them until they look away.
Most of them do. There are a handful that don't. There is one person actually, looks to be a road construction worker. It's most of his crew is actually off at the truck offloading things, and he had been in the street sort of moving things off of a manhole cover sort of thing. He does sort of like see you going. Thanks, I guess. Just goes
Onyx
back to
gives
what
him a
he's
thumbs
doing.
up.
Grudge just beats his pecs.
You guys see, as you guys get closer to home, you see the one neighbor who sells the sunglasses, because it's loud. You are rolling a boulder down a street that is probably still covered with rubble. The neighbor that sells the sunglasses just sort of like leans out the upstairs window like, huh, I guess you're not throwing beds, so that's an improvement.
Oh yeah, is the bed hermit crab?
You do not see the guy that had the bed thrown on him.
That Onyx bedded.
When you guys get to the front door, Seth opens the door. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I gotta ask, the basement. Is the way to access the basement from inside the building, or is it one of those outside basement doors?
I'll say that if you guys wanted, it would
Onyx made a garage door once.
Yeah, it would be normally accessible only from the inside of the house. However, because you guys made the garage, you could roll it through the garage.
Okay. I think Gurk, even with being a monkey, he probably could still clearly signal he's trying to get it into the basement.
Especially because you retain your intelligence.
Yeah, I just can't speak, which is the problem.
Yeah, Onyx stops the boulder and it's like, I can take care of the rest. Why do you want this?
Oh, I wish I knew Thieves Can't, because then I would just be sign language. But I'm just like, and I like point at the door to the basement.
Yeah, I do get it. You want it down there, but why?
Just like, I don't know. Let's do a performance. I'm gonna perform a message to you.
Okay, go for it.
Like a Courage the Cowardly Dog scene or something, you know, where he like reenacts a scene.
Roll your performance check then.
Would this be like my performance versus Onyx's insight?
No, this would just be a DC because you're.
Okay.
Because if both of you roll well, then it would be harder for her to actually understand what you're saying.
That's true. I got a 10 total.
Okay. You.
And I'm just showing.
He understands the general gist, so I'm assuming that you probably want it for some kind of spell. Presumably, he wants to sleep on it.
Okay. I mean, Onyx got a new bed, so Gurk can have a new bed. Yeah, she moves it down the down into the.
What kind of stairs do we have for the basement?
Now we don't have any anymore because the boulder smashed the stairs.
Also,
wait, hold on. Is the boulder Onyx?
Also, what is the floor to this house? It's just wood floor.
What is the floor made of?
Oh well, you're on the ground floor. You're going to the basement.
Yeah, I mean, like, is this like wooden paneling flooring in the house?
Well, so when you go
like,
down,
how much damage do we do rolling the boulder? Is pretty much what I'm asking.
The basement, you're going through the garage, so to the which the basement is cement. However, your stairs are wooden. So the first step, oh shit, my internet just shit it out.
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the first step, Onyx is like, I've got this. This is fine. Second step, you hear a crack. Third step, boom. You guys all hear the house fucking shakes because you dropped a fucking horse-sized boulder into the basement. Completely shattered the stairs. There is now a 10-foot drop into your basement and a boulder.
Rock looks down, looks over at Onyx, and puts
a few seconds later, Seth comes running into the garage holding the short sword and the cleaver. What the fuck just happened?
Onyx, Gurk goes in for a high five. You accept?
I think is Gurk down there too, or is it just Onyx? Well, I also took damage, I think, falling damage because.
Well, I've heard that. Okay, were you trying to, when you were taking the boulder down, were you going from behind it or in front of it?
Okay, I'll say Gurk was in front of it, and he's down there.
So we're both down, yeah.
Okay.
I have an innate climb speed. I just pick up Onyx, and we just go right back up on top.
Onyx can climb up herself.
Okay, go ahead and I'll say make dex checks.
Now I gotta look up 8 stats. No, I don't. I know I failed. I got a 5 on the dice.
12.
It's a good thing you have a climbing speed.
I don't think that helps with a falling boulder.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
Breath of the Wild speed run it. Just climb on top of it. Go for an adventure.
I believe they go by D8s for damage for falling objects, depending on how much.
I think D10s.
Oh no, that was D10s. That's right.
Or was it D6s?
I think it's D6.
I think it's D6s. 1d6 per
It's not D8s. I do know that.
1d6
not D8.
for what?
Well, fuck it.
Like,
I don't feel
after
like
10 feet.
I don't feel like rolling it, so I'm just gonna do the dice that you would do for a trap.
Rock falls and I die. Cool.
You both take 15 points of damage as you land, the boulder lands, and the rubble of the stairs lands, and Seth comes running, peering over the edge. The fuck just happened with short sword and cleaver?
I'm gonna
We're
see
fine,
if
by the way.
I'm gonna see if I'm still an ape. Give me a second.
I think you are. Apes are actually really tough.
Yeah,
Or wait, no, you're not a giant.
It's not giant ape. I'm not yeeting someone into the sky. Yeah, no, I'm still ape.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at the bottom of the basement, and he's up there like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, high five.
Yeah. She gives him a high five and then climbs back out of the hole.
So we'll say at this point, all of the rest of you are back and do hear that insanity.
Saul just sighs and like, why do I feel like this is Onyx's fault?
Yeah, Onyx climbs out of the cellar and then like basically walks back into the house. It's like, oh hey Saul, I can I talk to you?
Did you just try to destroy the house? Did you just try to
it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the job or whatever we got from the Shadow Henshin.
You didn't answer my question.
The house is still standing, so what are you complaining about? Gurk wanted a boulder and I helped him get it. So
that was
all
me.
those posters and everything, Solitude, that you took so much time to straighten up in your room and hang up and everything, they are all lopsided. Half of them are on the floor.
You're fixing all of those, Onyx, by the way, and they better be straight.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Also, I wanted to ask you, like that Henshin, Solar Sammy or whatever. You know her?
Solar Lady.
Solar Lady. Yes. You said you know her? Was she like one of your teammates?
No, she's a friend I met after leaving the team. Well, leaving the team is the rough term for it. I've more or less been helping her out as best I can.
Okay, so I take it we're not killing her no matter what.
No.
Okay. Cool. Good. Cool. Yeah. No. That's I just want to make sure that what's your take on this, because you know her, like maybe she's like like someone you don't care about or you hate or something because of...
Saul just kind of starts laughing. I'm like, if you ever meet her, she is probably the nicest person you will ever meet.
I don't know.
I just from talking to her.
I like these Shadow Henshin less and less. They seem like real dicks. They didn't even let me keep their stupid rag.
That's because they didn't want us scrying on them.
I guess. Or he wanted to do something else with it, and now, I'm
Onyx,
thinking about it again. No.
Shut up. Go fix the posters. We have a step ladder somewhere. I'm sure you can use. Yeah, Saul is not happy about it right now.
Fine, I fix it.
Good.
Oh, that was a good roll. That was a 19 for fixing the posters. I don't know what I add to that, but it's a natural 19, so it should be fine.
It looks pretty good. You're pretty sure they're all straight. You did almost maybe fall off the step stool at one point, just because it's not necessarily
made for Onyx weight.
Rated for your weight.
Yeah. But it seems like they're up.
And also, for note, Kat, Saul will probably send Sammy a message now.
Okay.
Too.
Yeah, that would be nice to warn her. Hey, so the Shadow Henshin kind of want you dead.
I'm going to say this. She is not saying any of that because she knows I'd freak the fuck out of Sammy. I'm sorry, Aya, but if anyone's going to scar Sammy, it's going to be the Henshin HQ, not Saul.
Please don't make me deal with another Sammy panic attack next episode.
No, don't worry. I'm not.
Those are so painful.
They are so painful.
Okay, I've already had 2 Henshin panic attacks in this episode. I'm done.
Saul's fine.
You're welcome.
Shockingly enough, Solitude is fine. He's just annoyed.
Speaking of people with Saul in their name, if nobody needs Tomo around after she and Solitude get back, she's gonna hop on her bike and head towards that clinic that the gentleman pinged for her, or that street with the clinic on it.
Okay, so I think I misunderstood you back when you mentioned that. When you said ping, I had thought that you had meant Solitude.
Oh,
I called it.
That's how you were able to find them so quickly.
Okay.
I called it. I said,
bad.
watch, you're going to get information that's Solitude, not Solace, because either the gentleman or cat misheard you.
I did. He did hear you. He did say that he hadn't found anything.
Okay.
We'll say he would send you a message later that evening, maybe around like 8 or so, that he still got his contacts looking, but he hasn't seen anything. But then again, it's kind of hard to catch up with everybody. There are lots of people missing because most of the people that died in this attack didn't leave bodies.
Yeah.
But that he's looking.
Okay, well, in that case, then Tomo will probably just head out on her cycle and see what people she can help.
Okay. And I'll say that for the rest of the evening, you can help all over the place. You do actually see, while you're out, you do sort of glimpse off in the distance who you're pretty sure are the seasonal girls, the other Henshin team in Del Diablo. And at first you're like, oh, they're really young. It's a little bit concerning. They're probably the equivalent of like Sailor Moon age, and it Tomo knows the former seasonal girls all recently died.
Yeah. It's almost like, oh, that's so nice that oh wow.
But they seem, I mean, they're helpful. They're not complete incompetent idiots. They are helping people. They are doing what they can. They don't look like they're in any immediate danger. Going around, you do help. There are, you go to one area that's the building sort of collapsed in, and you help unbury it and help people out. There's another bit where there you find an elderly gnome man that's just sort of like wandering confused around a particular neighborhood. He seems to be looking for his family home. And by doing a little bit of research and wandering around and asking with connections with people in the neighborhood, you do happen to find, apparently, he has a little bit of dementia and got separated from his family. But you do find them and reunite them. And that's pretty much the rest of your evening. It's helping people. It's not the most promising things, because you do see some pretty terrible shit, but you are trying to help some.
I mean, that's fine. Honestly, she's just doing the same thing that I would do in this sort of situation of, I'm going to find busy work to distract myself.
It's actually pretty distracting.
At some point, Onyx would, like when everyone is there, would show what she found on the video footage with the one dude. And
pickpocket.
When I look at the up to the explosion, did the cafe that was there, did it also explode? Was it part, or was it
it was a bar that woman walked out of?
Oh, the bar, yes.
It seems like no, the bar was just at that distance. So, like, from what Demona had mentioned, that these devices can be set at different intensities. The destruction pretty much stopped at maybe about 100 feet or so away from that bar. It could have been a coincidence. It could have been intentional. Who knows?
Yeah, so we might want to check out that place at some point and maybe look for that woman. Because she apparently stole his wallet. Could be useful stuff there. Yeah, just saying.
While you guys are talking about this and presumably maybe having Seth help with the zoom in and enhance sort of crap, he does mention, have you guys thought about maybe also trying to track, like, somebody had to make these things, right? Like, where do you get the stuff to make them?
I thought they were lost technology from ancient times.
They could have been, but I mean, somebody had to find them, right?
That's true.
I don't see how we can get close to them to see what anything there, right?
I mean, they seem pretty potent. Wouldn't they maybe like leave a trace or something like that?
I mean, that seems like it.
Do you not see the light, the giant light pillars? I think that's a bit of a trace.
No, I mean like from the transportation, radiation or something that leaked, or I don't know.
Seth is like, maybe. I don't know anything about these things. These haven't been used in 400 years. My
Do I
degree
look
doesn't
like
go
an
back that
explosives
far.
Do
We could
I
find
look
an
like
expert.
explosives expert?
We have an expert.
You look like a demolitions expert, though. Gotta say, based on the stairs. Which, by the way,
I'm gonna fix those.
okay.
Why don't we just ask Demona?
Onyx, by the way, spends the
Not a
rest of the
story,
evening
right?
fixing the stairs.
Gurk will help, I guess.
What did you want to ask Demona?
Well, in Tomo's mind, Demona is an explosive expert, so she's like, "Oh, well, Demona will figure this out. I don't know shit about explosives."
Honestly, you're not entirely wrong, considering Demona did get the highest check to figure out what the fuck an atomic burner was.
Well, these are relics from the past, correct? Well, most cities are built on top of the ruins of their previous selves. Maybe that they've been here the whole time. Been buried. Of course, moved around to make the face or whatever. Maybe
Who knows?
they found them. Doesn't mean they had to make them.
But it's a little suspicious that all these cities would have them under them. Without
Yeah,
them
they might have
knowing.
all come from the same place and then be moved to all the cities over a period.
So, question on that. Do you actually call Demona and ask her this? Because remember,
Yeah.
she doesn't go to the house. She goes to
I
her
know.
apartment.
A text about this.
We have a
No,
text
I know.
chain, like a
I mean,
group
I
text.
was assuming honestly that after Tomo had been out
I am
all
100%.
night.
Sorry, I'm 100% imagining that the group text for you guys is just the Discord chat.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I was
Just the
gonna
nonsense
say.
that happened in there today is just what happens in your group chat every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So, my biggest question in that regard, can I do an investigation check to search through the Merc guilds, my own information about explosives, all that kind of good stuff to get some info on them?
What are you trying to find?
Mainly any sort of information on where they may have been dug up or any hint as to some hefty cargo systems that would have been on the roads, anything taking what normally would have been a very large package to these specific areas in general, like any sort of. Okay.
Another question to this too is how big does Demona know how big they normally would be, the burners?
Did say that these were restricted to a certain amount because on the check that I got on our last session, that it was specifically set to do that. Otherwise, it could have nuked an entire city, if I'm not mistaken, a mega city.
So Demona would know. They're not particularly massive devices. It's not like, a nuke. It can be maybe about yay big or so, depending on how much of a damage.
Nukes can be that small too.
My brain is thinking nuclear plant.
Bomb.
But you can change depending on how much mass it gives, how much the explosion does is not based on the input of it's you log it in. It doesn't have like a payload with it, if you understand what I'm saying. So it wouldn't be particularly difficult to smuggle something like that in, especially if they did it in parts.
Okay.
You do know.
Just let me know when I need to roll.
Yeah. You know that the reason that these things are banned is not necessarily just because they are massive and dangerous. They are. One of these things, if set to maximum capacity, can break a planet. And you're gonna have to roll. Go ahead and roll a
Investigation.
Yeah, investigation check.
Yay.
Or a moon. Could it break a moon?
Potentially.
It seems dumb to build.
If it could break a planet, it could break a moon. The moon is much smaller.
So does that mean Yoast is equivalent to one of these things?
I don't know.
25.
Damn. You do know that there are stories of one of these things being told hundreds of years ago. There is a sort of barrier around the solar system that keeps interplanetary space travel from coming in any longer. But before that, that was maybe about 600-700 years ago, when space travel was more common on Radix. There was a war that broke out, and one of these things was used at max capacity, and it completely destroyed a planet. There is not a planet there anymore. There is a very small moon.
So yeah, you guys get all that in a very long text message.
I read it to Gurk.
Wow, that was a really... They typed all that?
She may have spoke it.
Demona should have just came over and just
LDR.
told us. It would have been shorter.
You get the feeling that, from what you remember, Demona, about the history of these things, they weren't just banned, they were destroyed. They were
Supposedly destroyed. Oh no.
necessarily ancient ones.
You're
Can you
back.
hear me now?
You're
Yes.
back.
Okay. There aren't necessarily ones lying around that are ancient that are still intact, unless they were hidden from the governments that decided that they needed to not be there anymore. So either these are ones that have been buried really well for at least 300 years, or someone learned how to remake them.
I don't know which one's scarier.
Yeah.
Remaking them would definitely be scarier.
You give it a...
You do have a general idea of what sort of things that you would need to remake them, though. You know that you need some it's
Damn.
What a face to freeze on.
That is a
an
very
atomic
good face.
ignition sort of thing.
Sorry,
you
I
should-
lost everything that you just said.
You need some aspect of an atomic explosion as the ignition point for the device. So you do know that you would be able to track some of that.
Give a man a weapon, and they can start a fight. Give the man...
Give Demona a weapon and she can end it.
Give a man a way of making weapons, and they can start a war.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, in that case, I would definitely be wanting to double check any sort of those, specifically the atomic reaction, but any materials that could be used for that, along with transportation of such.
Okay.
Ooh, I wonder what would happen if I cast plant growth and made a medium-sized apple, and then I cast explosive fruit on it.
Anybody else want to take this one? I am so done with this shit.
No, just took to myself. Don't mind me.
Okay.
I will say, actually, yeah, no, you did really well on your investigation check. You do looking around and looking specifically on a lot of merc boards and weirdly like the weapon enthusiast sort of places, the places that you would go if you wanted to, build a bomb in your backyard. You do find a handful of people that might know something. You have one, basically, yeah. You have one idea of a supplier. You actually heard about them through the Mercs Guild. They're seemingly retired, go by the name Aruna. And looking online, you're pretty sure that the address listed is a residential address, which is a little weird. Most Mercs don't usually put down like a home address.
At least not the smart ones.
You do know the other two that are sort of on your radar. You know of this one's through the Mercs Guild as well, but she's not actually a Merc. She's a weapons creator. Her name is Bright, and she makes weapons. specifically a lot of explosives. And then you find another one who is actually a current merc and is also on the boards, actually looking for information about the anarchist.
And I would definitely want to reach out to both of them.
Give you their names afterwards.
That's fine.
Just because there's a lot of lore that you guys just got dumped.
And I love it.
So that's what you're doing. Tomo is out doing good. Onyx is attempting to repair the stairs, and I'm assuming she rolled. Yeah, you're like, it's great, it's perfect. Gurk takes one step on.
Wait, I was helping, so you have advantage.
Okay, go for it.
That one.
Slightly better. What do I add to this? Anything?
Intelligence?
I don't have proficiency with carpenters or masonry tools, if that's what you are thinking here. I don't have that, but I have proficiency with brewer's
intelligence
supplies.
check.
That's a 9.
Okay, it's passable with Gurk's help. Like, he takes the first step, and it does sort of like sag. You're pretty sure that nail had bent when you went in, but it's passable. You can go downstairs. Just maybe.
I mean, it's mostly Gurk that wants to go down there, so it's fine.
Maybe Onyx should go down one step at a time.
Most of us won't go down there. That's
probably when you walk up and down. There's this really loud and very disconcerting noise that it makes, like which eats a like.
Let me double check.
Froze it again.
And get froze again.
Let me double check something.
Oh, you're back now.
You see my rage faces?
We saw your very exasperated face.
Rage faces. They're more
drinking Coke face.
Drinking Coke face. And before that was, I don't know what face that was, but I wish I had screen capped it because it was hilarious.
It was in a really funny looking face, though. One of those like very unfortunate frame pauses.
So that's what Onyx is doing, what Demona is doing. What are Cyberus and Gurk doing?
Well, I was helping Onyx.
Oh, you were helping with the stairs, that's right.
I was just looking on the internet for stuff, maybe trying to get Seth to hack the traffic cams around some of the locations.
Okay.
See if anyone drove a truck in there to deliver something at some point. I don't know. I'd just be researching what people have recorded or reported about these things.
Mm-hmm.
The one place I observed was like a mall, right?
Yeah, that was actually the place that exploded. It was what's called a mega block. It has apartments, schools, like a mall in it, a theater. It's basically everything that you would need in a neighborhood crammed into one spot.
So probably looking for trucks might not be that useful because there's, a lot of trucks going there just delivering stuff.
Is Demona with us?
No.
She's always at home.
Okay, I'm gonna go see. Okay, we got done with the stairs. I'm gonna go see Demona for a second. I don't have time for these text things.
Gurk one-ups the phone call thing by just flying to meet whoever.
No, I walk there. Why would I fly? No need.
You could do a video call.
How? I can't see the buttons.
I'll press the buttons.
Also, he couldn't see her.
Well, that's the same as a phone call then.
I couldn't feel the buttons either. It's a touchscreen.
You could ask for help. It's not bad to ask for help.
Nah, I'm fine. I just walk there.
Dahl disagrees hard with that.
The tag of Corruption Crew. It's not bad to ask for help. Everybody, no! Don't help me! Let me suffer!
No, that's fine. I'm going to go to I'm fine. So I head to Demona's, and I get to Demona's.
So here's a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys even know where my apartment is? Because I've never actually told you.
Yeah, I've sent.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I know because I thought I picked you up at one point.
Yeah.
From the gentleman's place, wasn't it?
From your place. We picked you up from your place before.
Didn't Tomo sleep at your place one time?
Yep.
Yeah, when she got super smashed.
Yep.
I don't remember when that was. I just remember there being.
very
I just
beginning, like,
remember
it was like
drunk Toma. That's all I remember.
Wait, hold on, which time?
Fuck. I'm sorry, they're blending together. I binge watched 8 episodes in like 48 hours.
It was like, I think, like the first or second episode that we got absolutely plastered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then you guys went to go fight a bunch of rats.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks right now.
Oh,
And Onyx was completely useless.
I knock on Demona's door with my staff.
So, does that trigger any of the runes of explosion I have on my door?
You actually have runes of explosion on your door?
I've got the spell.
Okay, what's your trigger for it?
Did you
God.
spend the money to cast it?
That's the other thing.
Is the question, because that's expensive.
Because I'm willing to believe you if you told this to Kevin, but if you haven't told a DM this, you didn't do it.
No, I'm just fucking with Scotty.
Okay.
I'm
That'd
fine.
be really funny though.
However, say you have weird, sinister-looking runes on the door. However, that would not be much of a deterrent to Gurk, who can't read and also can't see them.
I mean, if you had done that, the first mailman would have been killed.
Yeah.
Now, if I'd have done that, the only trigger for them would have been when the door swings open and it's not unlocked.
Oh, then the knock would have been fine.
Right. Hence screwing with you. Anyways. So Demona just comes to the door and opens it and just stares at you. All 4 eyes.
I'm pretty sure you're staring at me, but so I wanted to ask what the heck these parts would be for the machine thingies that are doing the big pillars of flame and whatnot.
The hell were you talking about?
Oh, I was just gonna see where maybe hypothetically, this anarchist could be getting these supplies.
I'm looking into that. I've got contacts I'm reaching out to. I will notify you and the group as soon as I have information.
Okay.
Squeak. Door closes.
Oh well. I walk outside and I spend a 4th level spell slot to cast Conjure Animals, and I summon 16 swarms of ravens, and I wild shape into a raven, and we scour through the town looking for any hints of the anarchist or things that have to do with the pillars of flame.
Okay.
So that's about 300
So
ravens.
you can't see,
I
but
can't.
your birds can.
I can because I wild shaped into a raven.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow it. So you didn't see it, but we'll say that because you are blind, one of them did take pity on you and actually just narrate what Onyx was showing you guys on the footage. And go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage because you have, 27,000 little helpers.
I believe they get it anyway. Double check. Good, they don't. All right. Or else that would have been pointless. Whee! And that 20 on the first roll. So
Nice.
Damn.
24?
Perception. Want to make sure I don't have proficiency. I know you already recorded it. I just want to be sure. Yeah, 24.
Okay. Flying around, you do see.
I can roll 16 times for the swarms too if you want, but I don't think it'll matter.
You see a Goliath walking around, and normally it wouldn't matter because like they're not the most common in town, but you've seen them. However, what you do notice is a glint of light off of something on its chest, and you sort of turn around and look, and sitting on this Goliath man's chest is a symbol similar to the one that Onyx described to you from the video.
I lay down a nearby tree branch or something, get a steady view. Symbol, you say? Can I roll like a history or something on it?
It's kind of hard to tell from here what it is. And actually, I'm going to say that's probably a good place to end for the night.
Okay.
So that I can figure out all it is that you can glean from this individual.
Gotcha.
So, anything else you guys want to do before we put it on pause for the night and pick up next week or next
I have one.
weeks. Yes,
I
go
got
ahead.
one thing. Well, I sent you a message, so Saul's probably gonna start working on that
You sent it to me?
on Discord.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, it is gone.
No, on Discord, because I knew it'd disappear if I didn't.
Yeah, I'm in the Zoom chat and I just see like forums, Nuketown, Walmart of nukes.
But yeah, no. She'll probably be working on that, and has probably went out and got some alcohol too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that you can start on that.
All right.
All right.
Onyx feels very content with herself. She fixed 2 things and got our Gurk a nice big rock.
It's actually, yeah, you're pretty proud of yourself. Like, yeah, you broke some shit today, but you also fixed it.
Yeah,
I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
You found some pretty good leads on where to go from here.
It was a big rock.
So to sum up the leads that you have 2 individuals wearing that weird gold symbol. One that got pickpocketed. You have Demona has a supplier that seems to know where to find the fuel source for these bombs, and then 2 weapons experts that seem to maybe know how to build something like that. One of which is actually looking for the alchemist herself as well.
Ooh.
And we will pick up next time to see where you get along in finding the anarchist. And what happens with your quest to take out the solar lady?
The quest
I'm so sorry, Aya.
The quest to just torment Aya because she has no clue what's going on, and we're just being shits to her on the Discord.
So Solar Sammy.
Yes, Solar Sammy. I actually find that actually would make a ton of sense to you guys because none of you know who the solar lady is. Except for Solitude, because she's only been active for a couple of months.
I don't know. But
Also active in her hometown, too.
That's why I had to get the name wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No,
he
you
also
just
said
botched
Sammy.
it.
No, he deliberately said Sammy Aura too, right? He told us the name of her, so
Yeah, he told you both of her
mashed it.
actual names and
mashed it together. Was all deliberate. I actually had to mentally prepare that I don't say
Sure,
Solar
Hera.
Lady.
Excuses, not just you can just say it's 4 a.m. and they would accept it.
I love you. It's actually 5 a.m.
Now
my
it is, but
God.
when you said it was 4 a.m.
Okay, yeah.
And with that, we'll be wrapping up. Any plugs for we can start with Vex.
All right. Well, not this week, but next week on Sunday at 9 EST. I've said this before, finally my players are starting to get to do it. I will be running Retroverse, the adventure in the book for TW2. I say hopefully because my players have been really dragging their asses. So, and you can find me at Fractured Moon D&D for that, and it's at the bottom of Scotty's page in the friends thing.
Yeah. Alt, you got anything?
I guess I have commissions open for the moment. So yeah.
If you want some hot vampire bee girls. So.
Also, yeah, if you want to look at some hot vampire and/or bee girls, follow my Twitter at Altaziel.
Hera, you got anything?
No.
Hera doesn't do anything.
Rude. Saege, you got anything?
Not that's my place to plug.
Take your time.
This is our only game this weekend, so I hope everyone enjoyed it. Make the most of it.
I did. I had a lot of fun. I was really nervous for GMing for you guys, having never GM'd for half of you before.
I thought you were going to say never DM'd for a dumpster fire before.
Oh no, I've DM'd for a dumpster fire before.
Put the fire out.
You guys didn't see our Spire campaign.
Which DM
I don't know,
hasn't
Kat.
which DM hasn't DM'd for dumpster fire? So
real quick because I skipped it. Scotty, I know you said you probably don't have anything else this week, but is there anything else you wanted to plug?
I guess I got a Patreon. If you threw $1 a month, I would appreciate it very greatly. You would get some really cool stuff like, oh, I don't know, a full high-res version of the map of this planet of Radix with all these numbers and all these sections labeled with what all these areas are.
Damn.
So, maybe not details about them yet. It's over 120 different locations, but it would be.
We may or
that's
may
worth
not
it.
have a full ass calendar for this world that we made over the last. What has it been? 2 years, maybe now, Scott? A
2
year?
years?
A year? I don't remember. My brain is fucking up the start of this and the start of Trackless C.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like
think it might be
this
a year.
week. This week.
No, like you've been building this world of Radix since campaign 1.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Before we
Oh,
leave, Luke, did you have anything?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll see you guys next week for Vaccine Game, where they deal with the aftermath of all of this.
I wonder who runs that one.
Yeah, I run all the things now. They're all mine. All my games.
My precious.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Ciao.
Have a good time.
Bye.